Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of Star Wars Edge of the Empire, the Jewel of Yavin. I'm your host, Daddy Tarzan. You can find me on all social media platforms at Daddy Tarzan82855. We are here today with the crew, the cast of 2B Dice Adventures. A very special event for you guys today, as this will be the closing of the book for the Jewel of Yavin adventure, moving the Core Atlas crew into an open world where they can explore at their leisure. That being said, let's do a quick little cast introduction of the characters that we have today, and we'll get going, starting with Oho.
Hello, everybody. It is I, Victor underscore the Story Weaver. I am playing Oho, the assassin of the party, and everything's fine. Like we're good, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Nice. Up next, we have Chav.
Hey, there's me. I'm Matt, playing as Chavisto this evening. Your friendly neighborhood pilot of all things, quite literally. That's the only thing that he knows how to do good, other than just be a problem in Tarzan's side.
And finally, to round us off today for the evening, Rawl.
Well, what's going on? I'm Oz, aka Son of a Ghost on all social media. I play Rawl tonight, your resident grenadier, and just expert at throwing bombs at everybody. So, it should be fun.
This is
because a good enemy is hopefully about ready to get exploded. So this will be fun.
Yeah, we got a lot on our plate today, this evening. Lot of ground to cover. That being said, let's go ahead and roll out the opening credits scene, and we'll get back. We'll get right into the story, shall we? Our scene takes place still within the confines of the safe house provided by the Core Atlas's crew. The Core Atlas crew's underground contact, or their contact in the black market, Galt Renau, a Deveronian smuggler / arms dealer. They were instructed by one of their contacts on this job, Ara Shen, the daughter of Arend, after the heist of the bank and the museum took place simultaneously, securing both the gem and 1.5 million credits to which they dispersed amongst themselves, Aris and Arend. Arend getting only 200,000 credits, Aris getting 500,000, and the Core Atlas crew retaining the bulk of that payout. Aris, seizing her opportunity to escape from the life that she's been subjected to, being married to a crime mogul and casino mogul, bid her compatriots, her benefactors, if as you would call it, farewell with a tip before making her exit, letting them know that Arend would be possibly on his yacht this weekend if they should choose to reside in Cloud City and lay low till the heat dies down to deal with him. They chose to take that opportunity and took up residence in one of Galt's safe houses and have been spending the past 3 days in lockdown in a safe house until the heat of their activities has died down. They have been declared terrorists of the state with their with their imagery broadcasted on the HoloNet. The only member of this crew has managed to escape being identified outright as a member of this crew has been Oho, as this motherfucker can't fucking be spotted for shits and giggles, apparently. But the face of Chav Visto, Dove, and Rawl have been broadcasted all over the HoloNet. Rawl not outright identified due to his past being erased, but they have his face or his likeness captured on security footage from both the racetrack as well as the external security footage from outside the Holo Park when a bombing took place. A lot of tension has been brewing at this point. But before we get into that, we're going to take a small trip 2 years prior to when the crew was formed. The scene begins in media res as the camera pans down over the city planet of Coruscant. Our scene begins with droplets of sweat falling from above and landing in a small puddle on plasteel walkway. Our camera booms up to the profile of a younger, gold-skinned Nothuan in the front-leaning rest position, doused in sweat, as he strains to draw breath as he pushes himself up to the fully extended starting position of a push-up. A young Chav Visto before the camera, as determined strengthens his resolve, and he looks forward. The camera cuts to a side profile where we can continue to observe Chav offset from his side is a pair of well-polished officer boots that hold up a figure off screen. What's the matter, alien scum? Have you reached your limit? Are you about to quit?
There are no words. He just keeps going.
That's the problem with these alien conscriptions. They don't belong. Tell me, Cadet, do you honestly think you're cut out to be a fighter pilot in the Empire's Starfleet?
What is this person's rank?
Captain.
No, Captain. I know I'm cut out. Ain't no thinking about it, sir.
Beat your face, Cadet. I didn't tell you to stop. He leans in close to whisper into Chav's ear. The camera catches the lower jaw of a young human officer with thin lips. If you think I'd let alien scum like you graduate my academy, then you're sorely mistaken. The camera pans up as the officer stands and begins to walk away as Chav continues to remain in the push-up position. The camera catches the frame of a 5'6" male human with graying brown hair, weighing about 135 pounds, and continues to walk towards the academy facility. Keep pushing, Cadet Visto. You better be still pushing when I get back from lunch. in an hour or two. He begins to laugh as the camera gets a close-up of Chav's eyes. What do we see?
In a word, determination. It doesn't matter what this guy says. Chav knows that he is going to be the best pilot in the Imperial Navy. The best of the best of the best, sir.
With that, Chav, you wake up in a sudden jostle on the couch in front of the the entertainment center where you spent the evening catching some rest with the hollow net broadcasting today's news. Doused in sweat from this this fever dream that you experienced, essentially reliving one of the toughest experiences you had as a pilot in recent times. At the moment, as you look up from the couch, you see before you a advertisement on the television. As you turn up the volume, you can hear melancholic music playing as the vision of a glamorized face of an Ithorian woman phases into frame. And you hear, as the audio continues, and unless you change the channel. I'm Ithisa Mikado. You may know me from my hit supernatural drama series, Influenced. A story of three Ithorian sisters battled the supernatural forces of evil with their mystical powers. The image of a depressed and injured Canuck locked in a kennel as it looks up to the camera with its eye stalks. You may be wondering why I'm speaking to you now with this heartbreaking scene of a poor creature, injured and afraid, playing in the background. The scene fades away as the visage of Ithisa comes back into frame. I'm here to tell you that just for 2 credits a day, you can give this poor creature a fighting chance to lead a happy life outside of a kennel. And if you're looking for an alternative protein-based food source to aid in our fight against for animal rights, just check our website so you can learn what you can do to aid in our fight against animal cruelty. The ad continues on about substitute options for leathers, foods, and various other things to minimize the impact of animal product consumption.
Canonically, Chav would have turned that commercial off a while ago, but I was not about to.
Right.
Let him cook. Motion, can you give the GM inspiration? Can we give the man one die?
Right, is that possible?
At the beginning?
Listen, we already rolled force die in the beginning. Let's not push it.
Did we roll?
We haven't rolled
Not
it.
yet.
We haven't rolled
Not
it
yet. We're going to. All right, we're gonna roll a d4 real quick. See what other channels you get. Okay, that's a 4.
What other channels? What other channels?
I have 4 different ads prepared for you.
Oh my god.
This is the session, guys. We watching TV and Star Wars.
This is it, guys. This is how the party loses.
And we couldn't have gotten a better roll.
I'm so happy.
A female Duros news anchor addresses the camera.
Yes.
Thank you to all our viewers for returning to Volptech's News Center. I'm news anchor Ahame Kaur with the developing news on the occupation front of Nothwin. I was able to secure an exclusive interview with the newly appointed Admiral Tazin Kavan of the Star Destroyer Empire's Recompense. The camera cuts to a pre-recorded interview aboard the Star Destroyer above Nothwin with Ahame. Thank you for your time, Admiral. I'm sure you have a lot on your hands during these trying times, but I'll be sure to get straight to the point. Yes, I do. Though the people of the Empire need reassurance that we have their safety in mind, and I'm more than happy to provide that reassurance. Chav, this Admiral is the same being that you just dreamt about moments before. Ahame continues. Speaking of the people, Admiral, the people are concerned with the presence of the Empire's recompense over Nothwin is unprovoked. That there is no cause to believe that it is an actionable military target. What is the reason for your occupation here, Admiral? Chav, in that moment, you see a very recognizable sign of irritation that you've irked into this individual, subtly shown in the side of his face. The occupation of Nothwin is necessary, as it is believed to be the intended target by rebel forces in the future. The mining operations that produce Ur diamonds could possibly fund their frivolous campaign against the Empire. We are here to protect the citizens of the Empire, and I will not entertain these baseless accusations of unprovoked aggression any longer. This interview is over. Camera cuts back to VNC as Ahame goes over other political news about the galaxy in relation to the occupations of various planets.
Click.
Do you continue? Okay.
Off.
Okay. All right. Whew.
Well, I will
All right.
say, I am hearing all those other channels at a later date, whether it be on a TBD Talks or something like that.
I got plenty written up for you.
And have them be the intermissions of all these sessions.
Oh, that should be a thing. Oh, I need to start recording that. Okay.
Welcome
That
back
would
to
be
Imperial HoloNet.
I'm gonna start recording these fucking scenes. It's on. It's on like Donkey Kong.
Oh shit!
All right. I couldn't have rolled a better secondary advertisement right at the end of a dream sequence. Well done, Chav. Oho and Rawl. There's been a sense of contention between the two of you since the revelation of a Jedi being introduced to the relationship of Core Atlas.
What?
Listen,
The omission of truth has put a strain on one side of the two brothers, and you've been locked in an apartment for 3 days. How would you have gone about dealing with, or gone about avoiding dealing with this contention?
I would say for Raw, trying to, like, after the initial reaction of seeing the Jedi at the apartment and its initial outburst, I believe that Raw would uncharacteristically keep his anger to himself as he kind of just putters about the hideout, doing various menial things, just not talking to anybody. Just kind of just quiet brooding in a corner somewhere, working on some kind of uh contraption that he's just
Mhm.
kind of tinkering on.
Mhm.
I'm going to say that probably very, as per usual, as you're doing one of those many activities, somehow Oho is like leaning against the wall right next to you, even though you hadn't seen him before, but you just hear you're still angry.
Oh, you could tell.
It's not hard to tell.
If you could tell that, why couldn't you tell me about any of your plans before you left? Even before on any other mission, you have at least kept me in the loop. And now, all of a sudden, this force wielding whoever enters the scene, and you flip. You go dark, you go silent on me. It's not how we do things. I can't help but feel that things wouldn't have gone as sideways if you stuck around.
You see Oho sort of look down and seems to be like searching for words. You're right. It's not the way we do things. And yet I'm not sure that I can explain why. There was something about Eliza, but I wasn't sure what it was. And more often than not, I have an idea of what's coming or what's expected. With her, I wasn't sure. I didn't want to tell you because I wasn't sure what I was trying to get out of it.
Well, I know you weren't following after her to tickle your own pickle. Right. It's not the kind of man you are. The kind of man you are is cold and calculating. And going into any situation with 5, 10 plans ahead, already planned out. This was not at all an Oho Supreme Mint Condish mission.
And yet, I think it could have answers for us.
Or more questions.
We will always have more questions. We live in a question, brother, because we're always questioning and wondering when will we be able to go back home, or if there is such thing as a home for us. Still, Eliza may be strong ally for us to prepare against Killbolt.
Do you really think that one measly Jedi on the Lamb could stand against Killbolt and his legion of office workers?
You remember the rumors when we used to fight before Yavin? You remember the reports? If these tales are true, then we might need all the help we can get. You know me, brother. I do not like anyone holding the possession of knowledge on either one of us.
No, I don't like believing in hopes and fantasies. I like concrete proof. I like following an actual lead, not chasing a legend. If Order 66 was so absolute, and the fall of these Jedi was so powerful, so swift, why are we trying to put our faith in those allies again?
Because if Order 66 was truly absolute, then how come Eliza's still alive?
Sometimes the best rats know how to find the deepest and darkest holes.
And then perhaps it is a rat what we need in order to survive Killbolt. I do not trust him, and I know you do not either. But right now we are at disadvantage. And something tells me that if we were to just face him head on, it wouldn't end well for us. So if there is someone out there who may share information about the worlds and the galaxy that was before, who may give us an edge against our new employer, I feel compelled. I cannot explain why, brother, and I'm not expecting you to. But I know that I've had your trust before, and I hope that you trust me when I tell you there is something about Eliza, and I don't think I'm done with her yet.
At this time, Dove, who's been working on Uno in the back corner, chirps in. All this talk of Killbolt, when are we going to discuss the fact that he messaged us last second to hold on to the Karuska gem?
I was intending to bring that up as well. Is Chab awake?
Chav is definitely awake. I don't quite know yet if he came out of wherever he was sleeping.
So you probably would hear Oho just, Chab.
Yeah.
You probably want to be here for this.
All right. He clears his throat and stands up and makes his way out and kind of looks around and just goes, "Somebody die?
Not yet.
Good. I hate to miss the fun. What are we doing?"
Well, I don't know about you all, but I would like to hear the thoughts on what everyone thinks about the fact that suddenly Killbolt has decided to ask us to hold on to the gem.
That is definitely troubling. So, We know that he knows exactly what this thing is because he kind of told us what this thing is.
If I'm to understand correctly, this gem has the capabilities of powering a lightsaber, is that correct?
It appears so. Something tells me that if we can power a lightsaber, we can power up something else too.
And let me guess, you want to give it to this Jedi.
Yes, but not exactly for the reasons you may think. Think about it. The gem has been stolen. Some of our faces are out there as wanted criminals. And all of a sudden, the gem is to stay in our possession. I do not know what game Gilbolt is playing, but if I needed someone to fall for this, it would be very convenient for us to be in possession of the gem when the guards come knocking.
It would absolutely be true.
On the other side of that coin, this could be a very powerful asset and means of procuring another form of weaponry. If I do recall, the Death Star was cultivating kyber crystals, if I am correct,
Yes.
to power its primary weapon. Do you think he's trying to get us to bring him the gem so he can build a weapon of similar origin?
It's an awfully big gem, but that doesn't mean that it just one is used for powering all of that. Definitely need more than just one.
Not necessarily destroying a planet, per se, but a weapon of devastation. I believe that crystal could possibly suit that criteria.
What you mean more portable?
A more portable weapon, yes.
Either way, it would mean that this crystal, this gem, would be very coveted. It was one thing obtaining it, selling it, and moving on. Is a different thing holding on to it.
Has anyone told him that we are still in possession of this crystal?
Has anyone told?
We haven't spoken to Gilbolt since the last time.
We just got the message that he said, hold on to it, correct?
Yes.
I think Oho just kind of like looks at the group, seeming like look in everybody's eyes, kind of like getting this fact that like it seems like nobody has communicated that. But then he adds, we may have not answered. It does not mean that Aaron Shen may have not had said it, regardless of whether he was sure or not.
I'm sure the bloke already knows. I mean, it's not exactly a quiet mission that we just did. Right? Cities, half the city's on fire. The other half is looking for a bloke in a speeder who won a Grand Prix.
Along with somebody that blew up a tourist attraction.
Aye, and some ghost that's going around doing things. Man dressed in a cloak, I'm sure. That's the one photo, but I'm sure by now the media has twisted it in some shape or form.
Either way, the odds aren't in our favor at this time. We have to be smart about our decision going forward. That being said, what is our plan?
Has the weekend arrived?
Yeah, this is day 3. You know that as far as Ars has informed you, the most likely place you are going to find Arend is at his yacht, which you have not figured out what his yacht is yet. You'll have to do some searching, which is an easy computer search. It's just a matter of taking on that, engaging that skill roll.
When, just a refresher, when Kilbolt didn't assign to us. Kilbolt wasn't the one who assigned to us the taking of the gem, right? Was Kilbolt or was Aaron Shep?
It was Aaron Shen that wanted you to acquire the gem. Kilbolt just facilitated your connection to this job.
Right.
Once he found, you can assume, given the amount of time that's progressed, Kilbolt has learned the capabilities of this weapon or this gem, and there's reason to assume that he now wants that crystal for his own devices.
Yeah.
Or you could be very well trying to set you up. You're unsure as to the exact nature of what the Kilbolt's plan is, but it's you can assume it's one of two things.
Yeah. I think he's just going to reiterate whether Kilbolt wants it, somebody else wants it, or maybe he doesn't want it at all. The fact of the matter is that right now we are in possession of this thing. And if Kilbolt wanted to, he could very easily just reveal us to the world as the patsies.
Yeah, but then he doesn't get the gem. We get taken in by authorities, that gets confiscated.
Can we know that for a fact?
Well, actually, now that I think about it, he kind of is the authorities.
Exactly.
Well, given the fact that he specifically contracted us to facilitate the removal of the Emperor, I don't think this one job quite qualifies as a means of removing the Emperor from the throne.
Unless the Emperor wants this thing for some reason. So us having it means that he doesn't have it.
It doesn't. I don't see how it would result in his death or removal.
Maybe not necessarily his death or his removal, but it halts whatever he's trying to do. If he needs this thing, and we have it, he can't get it so long as we're under Kilbolt's thumb.
Right.
If we sell it off, now it's open to the highest bidder.
Speculation is good and all, but I think we should focus on the more pressing matter at hand, which is why we chose to remain here as opposed to just fleeing while we could. What's our plan with Arend?
Well, call me crazy, but I'm kind of thinking we wait till he's on his yacht, and then I fly that thing directly into a Tabana gas harvester.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
open
now-
to thoughts.
That pricey hunk of rock has given me a few more grey hairs than I know what to do with. And that man is the facilitator of that. And I'd like to see him suffer.
You want to see him suffer or dead?
Either
Yes.
or, one after the other.
Whichever gets the job done faster.
Where is the fake gem currently?
In your possession,
No, Dove has it.
Dove
Dove has
it.
the fake gem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she'll pull it out and show it. It's about the The replica gem, side by side to the real thing, almost indistinguishable. There's a slightly small. The replica is a slightly smaller scale, but anyone unaware of that fact could very well assume that this thing is the real deal.
So if we try to give it to somebody and they pull out a ruler, we shoot them in the leg.
Or the hand that has the ruler.
No, that just makes sense.
So, before we continue sharing ideas as to what to do with Arend, I guess my question is, are we all in agreement to hand over this gem to Kilbold?
The idea doesn't sit well with me, to be honest.
Well, I don't like our young Borg Jedi Force wielder putting something of this much value into the hands of the Empire doesn't sit well with me either.
Chav's eyes just kind of drift over to the nearest HoloNet projector. Yeah. I don't much think I want to help the Empire much either.
So while this pricey hunk of rock is in our possession, might as well give it to this Jedi, and you'll see like as he's saying this, a spark from the contraption he's working on just like blasts in his face. Fuck, man! Just give it to the goddamn Jedi and just let me know when you're disappearing next time.
So, I have an idea. If we're not going to hand over the gem to Kilbold, we may want to try to obtain some assurances that it was not lost under our watch. And if Arend is going to be in a yacht, heading potentially to a very volatile place, it could be convenient if some form of footage were to capture Arend in proximity to the gem, as if he had it all along. And then also gestures toward Dove and the fake gem.
I do have capabilities of monitoring from a distance in recording said footage.
Can you make it so that it looks as if it was a camera that was just watching that section at the time?
Yeah,
or perhaps
flying
one of the
drones.
Or one of the cameras from the yacht itself.
Well, we have to identify the yacht that belongs to Aaron to start with. Secondly, we have to figure out its flight path in order to find out if we can get camera footage of the yacht during this handoff.
Can I open up the nearest computer, whatever that may be, and just start looking for Aaron Shen, like, in the news, like, hoping for an article of, like, Aaron Shen, because he's a prominent individual, right? He's like a politician or something?
Yes, but Dove will hold up. Dove will hold up a hand, gesturing for you to wait, and turns to Uno in the corner, who's just charging his power bank. Uno, run a scan of the HoloNet for Arin Shen and his assets, specifically any boats. Uno's eyes flicker from orange to white as he begins to scan. And successfully does so. That being said, let's go ahead and take this time, since we're in the game, the game tray table. Let's go ahead and roll our force die today, since we haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
That being said, after we roll these force die, that's one for me. Rawl and Oho, I'm going to need you to roll an additional force die. That's 3 dark side for me, 1 light side for you, and then wait for Chav.
But it's already so bad.
It is so. Oh no!
Yeah. Wouldn't be
got-
a Chav
Never
Visto
fails.
without a dark side.
Never fails.
Yep.
It's
For-
it's Kev. During the little side shot that we did, I rolled a light side point.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Kev.
Dear Lord.
That being said, Rawl and Oho, go ahead and roll me one more force die for the both of you.
God damn it.
Jesus, okay. Twinsies.
The reason why I had you
One
roll
light side point.
The reason why I had you roll an additional force die is this is the indication as to how many times you can use your force abilities, Rawl, sense, Oho, push, without having to accrue strain to do so. That being said, you have no light side tokens at your disposal. Anytime you use your force ability, you will have to use a strain in order to do so. But you also have to have a light side token at your disposal on the table. That being said, you only have 1 light side token on your side, so use it sparingly.
To be fair, force magic isn't necessarily the light side. Okay.
It's just
So,
mechanics, I
mean,
think, right?
Yeah, it's just mechanics. So I mean,
There's no gray side, so until we get a gray side option, you guys have to use your light side. Until we go full dark, which I mean, for some of you,
can do that.
it is a possibility. But as of right now, for the sake of this campaign, you guys are using light side tokens for the time being.
We're in
very
danger.
well. We're in danger.
So you guys don't have any free uses of your force abilities today, unfortunately. But that's okay.
Cool.
That being said, Uno's eyes flash from the bright white to Uno's one eye flashes from the bright white to the typical orange as he trips in. Statement. The Cloud City bureaucrat known as Arn Shen's yacht is known as the Venture and is currently docked at the Cloudscape Tours and Landing Pad P4. That can be found in the Plaza District up above.
The Venture? What a fucking rich person yacht name. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh,
Inquiry.
you pretentious prick.
Will we be annihilating this meatbag?
Oh, obliterating him from
Yes.
the solar system. Yes, indeed.
Delayed
Sponging
statement.
his name.
Oh, how I
from-
cannot wait to spill his internal components onto the ground before him.
Yeah. I like this guy.
Wait. Uno, are you able to find out more about the security system in that yacht?
Inquiry. What do you wish to know?
Cameras? Any standard security patrolling blueprints?
The Venture runs a minimal security presence as it is only manned by the crew and passengers of the Venture in regards to security. Observations, be it cameras or otherwise, there are no known security footage capabilities known on the Venture itself. That being said, I can land a long range scanner beacon onto the Venture itself from a distance. I am quite capable as a long range fighter with my sniper rifle. Or I can annihilate the meat bag with one shot to the stomach and one shot to the central processing unit of the meat bags.
I'm just
So
gonna
here's.
say,
Oh, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say, hearing that there is no real security detail, that sounds a little sus. Somebody like Arn Shen, and whether or not that's gonna change in the past couple of days, knowing that he pissed off some terrorists.
Right. I do think that's going to change. I think if he does use the yacht as a safe means of passage somewhere, he's going to have backup there. I'll still say the good old dine and dash delivery would be the best way to do it. Trying to get someone to get an actual sight line on him, shoot him down, is putting ourselves too much open, and we don't need any more targets on our backs.
Inquiry. I fail to see the validation of theft of food as a means of exterminating a meat bag.
Don't
It
worry about
wasn't
it.
a
Uno.
literal statement, all right. It's
Uno,
literally
you
just
said. Uno, you said that the yacht is at the dock.
Statement. Correct. The yacht itself, the Venture, can be found at the Cloudscape Tours and Landing Pad P4 in the Plaza District, Skyside.
Is this to mean that Arndt hasn't yet boarded?
There is a scheduled departure in 2 hours.
Oho's eyes sort of like beam for a moment as he looks at the group, and he just says, "What if there is what if there is a trade before Arndt gets to the yacht?"
what do you mean?
Well, it wouldn't make sense for cameras or footage to exist if the yacht does not want to have it. But if Arndt were to be captured with footage near the docks before boarding, presumably procuring the crystal, after that, maybe we can deliver farewell payload.
But you know these rich types. You know they like to look at the dirty little knickers in private. They don't want to look at it in the open. So, trying to get him to accept a package that he didn't order for would be hard enough. So I think our original plan of action was to
If I may bring up a point, we were expected to be dead with the assassination attempt on us.
sure.
We, at this point, can make our own calls as to where and when we make an exchange. He can, if we arrange for a trade-off without his explicit consent, it wouldn't be far from the realm of possibility, as we don't trust him to make a publicly or a secluded exchange.
But if we give
As
him if we give him a means of doing a trade-off, that gives him time to marshal whatever forces he has under his power to come to that site.
That's why we don't give him the option to prepare. We just have the
Yeah.
trade set up before he gets there.
He's
I don't wanna
supposed to
give
be
him any time
boarding.
to prepare.
He only is supposed to be there in 2 hours. If we
So if
intersect,
I'm sitting there on the dock with a bag that we know has a Karuska gem in it, and I just tell him that I don't want this fucking thing, I just want my damn credits back.
perhaps
Because I gotta hire a new crew.
You mean in the efforts to see if we can get our credits back? Honestly, I could care less about those credits.
Speak for yourself.
it would be perhaps a little risky if one of us is there, but a non-organic delivering the message.
But it catches them off guard, and honestly, a certain gold skin individual that's very much so plastered all over the HoloNet, addressing him out in public gives them a reason to hurry the discussion along before I start to make a scene.
It also puts you in a dangerous position, revealing yourself like that. There are no
That's what we got
guarantees.
the murder bot for.
Right, but if there's any shape or form of you connecting to this gem, wouldn't that put you in a bad position with the Huts?
I'm already connected to the gem, ain't I?
Not necessarily.
Decided
You're
statement.
connected.
Any possibility of the execution of organics in mass, I am all for, masters.
The most that they have on you is a possible suspect to a terrorist debacle, and that you were the winner of the Grand Prix. That's it. That's all they have on you. And if all of a sudden you show up on the whole net somewhere talking to this man with some illegal gem, it's not going to sit well with the Huts now, is it? I mean, it's not like your debt is already resolved with them.
Well, fine. I'm not caught with the gem. All that we need is proof that whatever I'm handing over is the gem, whether it's in a very certain non-conspicuous bag. We have footage of it being loaded, and then we have footage of me handing it to him.
Did we make an arrangement with Calth, though, to give him the gem? I'm unaware of. And I don't.
And have them duke it out themselves. I mean, I suppose.
No, we never were talking about that. We just gave Caltho a nice little angel donation, if you will, in hopes of getting in a little bit of better standing with the Hut cartels. The gem never came up. He doesn't know that we're involved in it.
The problem is that if you deliver it and the information is released about you delivering the gem, it automatically puts us in a bad position with Killbolt, since his instructions were clear now.
Indeed.
Listen, we could just focus on getting rid of Arend and worry about the gem later. But if we were to focus on Arend being seen with the gem, it cannot be seen as though we were the ones who provided it for him. It would need to be seen as though he has had it the whole time, and his entire ruse to declare us terrorists was just a way to get the eyes on us and away from him. That is how we clear ourselves.
Leave
What,
the
we need-
evidence with him.
Yes, we need
Yes.
to clear our names. Get this overpriced rock off our hands.
Fake,
This
fake overpriced rock.
right. Well, whatever. Right now, it's painting a giant target on our backs, regardless. And if we're caught with our grubby little mitts on it, it's
What was
gonna be
the
worse
name?
for us?
What was the name of the highest bidder?
Vorstabrith.
Vorstabrith. Oho. What if we were to get Vorstabrith involved?
I'm listening.
Well, something tells me Vorstabrith wouldn't have felt very stable to wake up and find his credits gone, as well as the gem that he was supposed to procure. I feel he would feel very much rattled if an anonymous tip were to inform him that the gem has been with Arend all along.
What, and make him take the fall as the aggrieved party?
If Arend were to Vorstabrith were to confront Arend, and we'll make sure that the gem is present so that this is actually recorded and seen, then we can make that discussion be their last discussion. Make it look as if Vorstabrith engaged with Arend after discovering the gem in their possession, leading to an accident.
Either way, we have to come to a decision quickly. We have maybe about an hour, 45 minutes before our scheduled departure time. So, what's the plan?
I don't know. The more time that goes on, the happier I am with just making sure that that dude is straight murdered.
We can settle for that too.
You can hear like the audible whirring of gears from Uno as he, like, you can hear him getting excited with the prospect of murdering somebody.
Number one thing that we got to have out of all this, we keep the real gem. Number two thing, are we in agreement? It's that Arn gets his comeuppance,
Yes.
or is it that we clear our names?
I would be remiss if I want to bring up the fact that Killbolt has made it a point that we need to be as innocuous as possible on our
Indeed.
missions.
A little late for that.
Which is why I have been proposing what I have been proposing. If Arend is the reason we have delayed, but our identities are also compromised, if we just get rid of our Arend and leave this place with notoriety, what's to say that Killbolt is not going to deem us not usable?
Present ourselves as problematic, that's all more of a risk for us in the long run. We were hired for discretion, or blackmailed for discretion.
Right, look how well that turned out. That did not go over very well.
Well, not all of us decided to bomb a hollow park again.
Listen, my mission was to make sure we got out of there alive. All right. There's a lot of
There's no
fire going
point in
on
discussing.
around there.
There's no point in discussing what happened. We need to make a decision now as to what we do.
I think we need to leave evidence behind pointing fingers at Arndt and clearing our names. As you are all aware, I have a ward that I am in care of, and I need to ensure my survival for his sake.
I have not forgotten.
So, we secure footage of the exchange between us and Arn Shen with the Karuska gem. We forward that footage to the officials of Cloud City via an encrypted message, which Uno can facilitate. And we clear our names, and all fingers get pointed at Arend instead of us.
I mean, some will. It's not like we'll be
can't
absolved of everything.
Right, we can't escape the fact that we've killed a lot of people, but we can...
Under his order is what I'm getting at. So even if we have a video of us saying that, hey, he made us do it, it's not going to change anything as far as being persecuted by the authorities.
There's some things that the law would consider as a byproduct. They would be more likely to persecute a single target of a bigger, more encompassing crime than several smaller figures for minor crimes.
You're banking on the fact that the law enforcement of Bespin not really influential place in the whole of the galaxy. That they will care about what's good and catching the big bad fish. In my book, that's aiding and abetting what we did.
We're going to do a quick knowledge check from Dove to see if she's aware of the history of Cloud City real quick. That's going to be Outer Rim? Outer Rim?
We're not in the Outer Rim right now. I think we're in the Core Worlds, technically.
Yep.
Is it?
Like right on the cusp.
Has anybody got the map pulled up?
No. I gave up trying to figure out the map, to be fair.
The map is massive. Horror Worlds, she does... I mean, it's the same either way. Let's see.
I take it back. Bespin is in the Outer Rim territory, specifically the
Alright.
Western Reaches.
I thought so. Alright.
We will keep you.
I'm going to go ahead and cash in a Dark Side token to give Dove a proficiency. Because I can do that because I'm the GM, motherfuckers.
Because I mean, that's fair.
And yeah, that worked out. Dove will chime in. Since the change of administration with Lando Calrissian taking over as Baron Administrator, he has strived to clean up the corruption and crime within the established body of government, that the prospect of cleaning out a corrupted bureaucrat from within the ranks of the government body of Cloud City would be more promising than convicting a few thugs acting on his behalf.
So all we need is to point in the direction of someone who may come across as corrupt, because the story would be more eagerly bought.
So the bigger fish to fry would be Aaron Shen than a crew of burglars.
And there's always a bigger fish.
So
That
the question now is, what if I were to plant the fake gem in the yacht and we deliver a anonymous tip that the gem is actually inside the yacht?
The question is, are we going to still destroy the ship? Because a intact fake gem would be easily distinguishable from a real one.
If we have the guards show up after the yacht has departed and Arn is inside, we can make it detonate after. We might be able to enforce crossfire.
Might I suggest that we leave Arend alive so he can face persecution, as that would be a more favorable outcome for the administration of Cloud City, as opposed to killing him and blowing up his ship with the fake gem on it, implicating him as the possessor of the Karuska gem, and leaving on names in the side winds.
So you're suggesting the gem, fake gem, be planted before he arrives. The guards arrive to find the fake gem, to prove it, but then make sure that the gem is not retrieved.
Correct.
So we're killing wing guards then? Because I don't know how we're going to blow up a yacht. Well, after the wing guards saw the gem, but make sure that the gem
The
gets
gem,
destroyed.
they don't have to see the intact gem, they just have to find remnants of the gem. So we destroy the ship before it departs, still at the landing pad, with the gem in the ship when it is destroyed, leaving remnants of a fragment of what is to be believed the Karuski gem.
They're not gonna know it's a Karuska gem right off the bat, though. They're gonna have to take it in for tests, and they'll realize that it's a fake.
But that'll direct the attention to Orange Shen for the long run. They'll have questions for him. Where is the real gem? At that point. And if he goes to try and point the finger at us again, we'll be long gone.
I still want the bastard dead, right? Tried to blow my ass off.
Still,
you and I both.
We need to try to consider what's going to help us more in the long run, brother. Right now,
We need the administration on our side.
True. We want our hands out of the pot before the bear trap comes clamping down, right? So if we pin it on somebody else and also put Aaron as the mastermind behind all of it, then we should be good, yeah? Right? So what if we did this? Not many people like the balls, right? We tell him that if he comes out to the yacht, he has a chance at getting the gem and possibly getting everything back. He was one of the biggest contributors to the gem. It's going to be kind of weird and send red flags to everybody else why he is in talks with somebody to get this gem back. Maybe he had a hand in it. Send the fake gem to the ship, blow the ship up, make sure we get it all on video, and then just give it to whatever media outlet and let them have a field day with it.
I have a question. Why don't we just let them believe that the gem was fake to begin with. This was an illegal auction. Which also begs to wonder why whatever title Calrissian himself was at that auction. But I digress. Who knows that there was an actual gem and then a fake gem, and why wouldn't this be just be a fake gem since before it got to Bespin?
I'll tell you why. It had to be a real gem. This auction housed a conglomerate of multiple people who fudge on the dark side of commerce, right? But they have a lot of money and a lot of influence. And you don't piss off the people with influence. So if someone had arrived with a fake gem and tried to sell it off to all these people, and whoever ended up with it shouts, "Hey, this is fake," automatically that person who had sold it to all of them or tried to is going to get flamed by the fire of 1,000 suns. So it had to be real.
But my point for all these people showing up to here is this, Raul, you put the fake gem right on the table next to the real gem, and if it's your first time, seeing it, and I say, hey, which one of these is real? How are you going to tell me? You trying to tell me that everybody at that auction was a jeweler, was a geologist that knows the Karuska gems from the Kaiba crystals, from the diamonds, from the cubic zirconium?
Any person who's willing to spend that kind of money on
bullshit. People with money spend it on whatever it is. Half of them don't give a shit. It's just a shiny fucking rock.
This went for a couple million. It's not just some cheap change.
It wasn't going to. It wasn't going to go for a couple million.
But the fact remains that it did. Okay? And someone who spends that kind of money on a rock is definitely going to get it appraised.
Vorstabrith? You think that he's got the fucking smarts and the know-how to get this damn thing tested?
He's the one sheep out of the whole flock of wolves.
Yeah, and he's the one who won the damn thing.
So why don't we just give Vorstabrith what he was supposed to win?
Yes, I'm in agreement with Oho. We point him in the direction of the gem, albeit the fake gem.
If Vorstabrith is delivered the gem, then what is the fuss about? And if Vorstabrith were to find out that the gem is fake, they could have reason to believe that Aaron was the person who knew all along that it was.
Facilitate trade on on Aaron's ship.
Or someone delivers to Vorstabrith the gem. Make sure to let them know that Aaron would like to know if they like it.
Honestly, if we get Vorst riled up enough and we get the gem on the yacht, Vorst might just take the gem and kill Aaron for stealing it.
I suggested that before.
You did.
Yes. I mentioned that Vorstabrith is probably not going to be very pleased with the money he bet on that gem, let alone the fact that the gem has not been given to him yet.
That sounds like something you would suggest. Sorry, I got some weird news earlier when I woke up this morning.
That being said, our time is running. Our time is running short, and the prospect of having Vorse deal with Aaron and Vorse facing the repercussions of this theft would be more promising than anything that I've heard so far. I think that we should go forward with this plan. We're running short on time, so we need to move.
So I could try to get into always just talking, putting the gem into the yacht and let Vorstabrith find it? Or are we talking about giving it to Vorstabrith so that Vorstabrith can contact Arend? Giving Arend pause because Vor should not have the gem.
I think so, yeah. I think Vorse will make a lot of mistakes because honestly, this gem is all that he has. So he's going to expend every last expense he has, call in every favor to acquire this gem. And that's going to raise some flags for...
I'd like to point out that ours has been missing for the past couple days, so I think that he would be desperate to get this gem in his possession too.
It's the
Try
last
and get
thing
her
he
back.
has. It's his last ditch effort to save
So-
everything that he's losing.
Right.
So we plant the prize in the yacht.
I think that would be the best course of action.
If we're all in agreement, we can get to work.
Joe, you take the gem. What do you say, Raul and I, we go rile up a Mr. Tabreth?
So long as you
We're gonna
make
go
sure
on.
that you don't riled up the city while you're at it.
No.
No, I'm
No.
leaving my grenades this time.
I need not remind you that of the people in this room, the only one whose face is not being exposed to the authorities is mine.
Yeah.
Right, which is why you get the gem, and we get the dirty work.
Might I suggest we change outfits? Something more inconspicuous before we go out? I'm sure Galt would appreciate that.
Right. Where's that suit I wore to the gala?
So, from the sounds of it, it sounds like we have our plan. Is that correct?
Yep.
God, I hope so.
Okay.
After all this deliberation, I fucking hope so.
Yeah, we're running low. We're running short on time here. That being said-
Finale. Okay, rules of in season finale part
Oh,
2.
it's just gonna be running like football player, just like
That being said, let's go ahead and get a group stealth check. If you're taking disguises, Rawl and Chav, you get 2 boost die. Oho, you get 3 boost die because you have yet to been identified. I'm sure that's already been factored into your fucking abilities because you're psychotic with it.
I mean, if you're giving me 3 boost die on top of what I usually have, I'll add 3 boost die.
Go ahead. Go fucking ahead. Don't know why you even bother.
Do you wanna share the screen for this role?
Oh yeah. That's a good point.
Because it'll either be the typical like what the hell, or I'll fail miserably, and then we know that we're all gonna die.
Let me just double check that.
Are we ready?
This is gonna be an.
Right side of your screen.
Actually, this will be an easy difficulty since we spent enough time to lower the heat.
All
You're
right, so
rolling
you just need at least 2
against-
successes.
Rolling against 1 failure. So everybody roll a stealth check. Those that are taking disguises, you get 2 boost die. Everyone else gets, or Oho gets 3, and then Dove.
I'll roll last.
All right, I'll get it out of.
Hey,
Ooh.
let's go.
Look at that twinning. Oh shit!
Oh,
Remember, there. Yeah,
Jesus fuck!
See.
Oh,
A lot of successes.
let's get Uno in the mix because he's gonna go with as well.
How did he get 7 despairs?
Listen.
damn.
Look at him.
Okay,
Look at the
Uno.
boy.
Making us
Uno is a fucking stealthy bitch. Dude looks like a fucking protocol droid. I will say, everybody's been walking. You know what? No, he's gonna keep his sniper rifle. It makes sense. Everybody's been walking around with weaponry. It should be fine. So yeah.
Ooh. During this time, did I get my scatter blaster?
If you've requisitioned it from Galt, yes, absolutely.
I'll figure out how to add that to my sheet later.
Yeah. It's been like 5 days, right?
Oh yeah. Raul, you have your stealth suit. Yeah, everybody's got their gear. So you guys got your firepower out in the field. Uno, Dove, Chav, and Raul and Oho. You guys make your way up to the Skyside district of Cloud City with your heading in mind. Chav, you're going for the yacht at the Cloudscape Tours and Landing Pad at P4. Oho and Chav, or Raul and Chav, are going to the. You're going to visit Vorse in person?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, so if you're going in your suit, Raul also going.
no,
in your
I'm
suit.
not in my suit. That was a joke. That was a joke.
But hang on, it's Vors.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. No,
He's gonna recognize you anyway. You got your gold skinned man.
Well, it's not necessarily a means of disguising himself from Vorse. It's disguising himself from the wing guard that are patrolling the city to try and find the ones responsible for committing terrorist acts.
Yeah, yeah. We just did a good thing with the stealth roll. The last thing that we need is Chav strutting by some wing guards, just going, "Evening, governor." Boo, 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 boo.
I mean, it's kind of hard to hide you.
I would say,
And a mask, maybe. Even if it's just like a cloth scarf over the face, I'm not as gold.
I would say Dove is going to go with Oho to provide long range coverage, and she's going to instruct Uno to go with Raw and Chav to provide long range coverage, should they need it. So, Chav or Oho, you have Dove with you. Chav and Raw, you have Uno. Do you guys clue Uno in on who you're searching out currently? So as of right now, he's just following you guys just to follow and protect you.
I mean, Raul would give him the general rundown. I'm assuming we don't want the droid with us when we're meeting Vorse.
Why not? He has an unassuming chassis. He's perceived as a protocol droid,
Yeah, like C-3PO.
essentially, just with a sniper rifle.
On his back? It's not
Yeah.
like he can just fold that shit up inside his body.
No, it won't fit inside his chassis. But
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
You don't
it's not like far fetched to have security droids in Cloud City. So it's like having a protocol droid that's capable of providing security for you. So it is within the realm of possibility within Cloud City, as they do have security droids throughout the city. I mean, you did encounter some with Arin's security, so
He's carrying a sniper.
it's possible.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah, long range capabilities.
All right.
But,
then yeah,
okay.
Raul would fill him in.
That would be so. Uno, upon being instructed on who you guys are searching out, he does do a quick computer scan to figure out where you could find your target. That will be an average difficulty. And he succeeds like a motherfucker. Jesus Christ, Uno is overpowered. You guys, he instructs you guys that you can currently find Vorse at Hobie Rand's Fine Imported Goods in Port Town on Market Row.
Hobie Rand's Port
It's a it's like a general goods store, I think. Hobie Rand's is 121 through 160, blah, 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 blah. Bush.
It's a bagel shop.
Oh, not that one. Market Row. You have Hobie Rand's Fine Imported Goods, a shop peddling cheap, colorful junk from across the galaxy. Yeah. So yeah, it's a general goods store. You currently can find Vorstabber there. Probably trying to find some more jewelry to try and get his wife back from wherever she ran off to. Oho and Dove, what is our plan? What are we doing? Just beelining it straight for the yacht?
I think one of the things that Oho would attempt to do as he's approaching the dock is that he would try to take a look at what if the people who are working the dock and the yacht that are like that work there maybe have a particular like vest or something that identifies them as being part of it, and he will try to see if there may be one loose somewhere that he can potentially like just like grab and go to basically add an extra layer of like, if he's seen moving around, it's not just like a random person. It's like, oh, that's probably just someone who's doing a check on the
Yeah, go ahead and give me a skullduggery check. One failure, 2 threats to beat. Dove is going to remain behind as that's not her forte. She's going to provide long range cover for you.
Sounds good. Let me just double check my stats because just in case I need to use something.
Let me tell you something.
Let me try something. Okay, nothing there. Okay, so I guess it is what it is. All right.
Yay! There it is.
All right, succeed with a threat. A success with a threat. All right, that's going to accumulate in the form of a strain. 1 point of strain. Also, do you still have wounds remaining?
I don't know how many. It's been what, 3 days?
It's been 5
It's been 3 days.
So
No, it's been 3 days.
3 days? Still no.
Yeah. So yeah, you could do a medicine check to heal up your wounds on your own throughout those 3 days. So yeah, you could have rested and healed up all the way for the most part if you did take that a lot of damage for the most part at least. Like you could have.
Yeah, it was like 5, 6 wound.
Okay, so yeah, you could have. You should have been able to regenerate just fine.
Okay.
But this is this success at a cost is gonna accumulate in the form of strain as you are quickly moving throughout the dock. You do manage to secure a vest, or is a form of a fucking dock worker's uniform. It's just a button up collared shirt. You toss that on over top of your shroud that you usually wear. Tuck it in. It gives you a bit of a bulkier.
I would say that Oho wouldn't have been wearing his usual shroud because the shroud is the one thing that they have shown.
Okay.
He would have
Okay.
he would have
So,
grabbed something from the safe house, like something very like smuggler, like casual,
yeah.
something with maybe with a scarf. Like he wouldn't have used the clothing that is the one thing that they have spotted. So he looks more like a quote unquote civilian, but it's still using like a scarf to make sure that he can cover his face, all that stuff.
Gotcha. So it's more of a form-fitted shroud that you've procured from Galt's safe house because he has an extensive collection of
Yeah.
outfits that he has at his disposal. You pick something that's along the lines of what you typically wear, but just a different shade. It's actually green instead of the usual black that you had. So it's like an earthy green shroud that you tuck in underneath the button-up shirt that you've procured from the docks. You make your way to Shen's ship. Go ahead and give me because it's an easy find because it has the name the Venture plastered on the side of the ship itself, and it's a nice yacht. It's very luxurious, but you can see that it's been modified to also accommodate for speed as well. Um, there are ship hands on deck currently. Do you try to make your way on board, or what's your plan of action with dealing with these deck hands?
The deckhands are where like the entry point of to get on the thing, or they're just
They're
on board.
they're maneuvering throughout the the Venture itself. They're prepping it for its scheduled departure tonight or in the next 30 minutes. So they're fueling, getting all the equipment
I
on
think
board.
I think Ojo is probably just going to be like keeping track of like their movements, and he will basically do his thing of attempting to be unseen,
Mhm.
just with like the sort of like always at the ready that if he is seen, he's just going to behave like like I'm supposed to be here anyway.
Right. Okay. So you post up at the back of the ship, where uh, you've observed other deck workers or dock workers posting up to take in the ship's information because they'll have the ship's name on the side of it as well as uh, the ship's VIN number and whatnot, so you could have easy access to it and be able to record who's been at what dock for how long, so on and so forth.
Mhm.
You can reasonably pass off as a dock hand checking out, making sure that Arin's payments are up to date and whatnot. And as you are standing there checking the information or feigning that you're checking the information, you spot an opening within the patrols of the deck hands for the Venture to where you can board at this time. What is your plan of action? Where are you planning to go?
Probably Ojo would look to find
This
the
is a big.
location.
I'll give you some context as to how big the ship is.
Yeah.
It's a three-story ship.
Mhm.
The most immediate access is the deck level where you can board. That will lead up. The first level leads into the engine room and as well as the port bays where you can access um, lifeboats for emergency departures and whatnot. Second level, that's where the passenger deck is. That's where there's a leisure deck where you can lay out in the sun on some tanning beds, or not tanning beds, but deck chairs, so on and so forth, and also a bar and whatnot. And within that level, or within the interior of that level, is the bedrooms that you can that the guests can take refuge within. Third level is the command deck, where the ship crew normally occupies because that's where they operate the ship from. So
Mhm.
you can get onto the deck level without any interruption, no problem. Give me a average perception check to get a lay of the land of the ship itself. See where the deckhands are currently patrolling. Ooh,
Oh. Wow.
if flat.
Meets it, beats it.
Yeah. Well, it's a flat. It's neither. It's a technical failure, but it doesn't mean you're discovered at all. Give me at this time. Let's go ahead and do another stealth check, contested by the yacht crew's perception. I'm going to say that there's
I'm going to
5 of them. Or how many does it say? I think it's 5. Yeah, we're going to go.
The unit, or are each one checking separately?
Tell you what. We're going to roll a force die. Light side, roll all as one. Dark side, we roll individually for each crew member.
I'm one with the force. The force is with me.
All right.
Since that's the case, I'm going to go ahead and use Sense Advantage, which once per session I can add 2 difficulty die. Technically, it's to 1 NPC skill check, but if they're all rolling together, I suppose.
Oh, so you want to fade from existence? Got it.
Yeah, I figured that was already a given.
That's what you were trying to achieve already. Yeah.
You said you add 2 to a perception check?
2 difficulty to their perception.
2 difficulty.
Whatever their difficulty was, you add 2 more.
Okay, go ahead and roll your stealth check.
2 setback die is what I'm saying.
Oh, setback.
Yeah, sorry. Do you add 2 setback die to their perception roll?
Gotcha. So it's going to be an average difficulty for their perception, or actually a hard difficulty because you are a very stealthy individual.
And I'm also dressed like a worker.
Right. I'll add another setback in that case to represent that as well. So it's going to be a hard difficulty with 3 setback for their perception versus your stealth. And this is going to be in group encompassing skill check. And they fail. Hard. They fail hard.
Buddy.
So you can hear them throughout the entirety of them maneuvering about the ship. Granted, they're not being quiet about their goings on. So you time your movements in unison with their routes throughout the ship as they prepare the ship for departure. You get on the deck. You make your way for the stairs, and you hear footsteps passing overhead. You hold your position and shrink low to minimize your silhouette, and you can see just the top of a deck worker's head passing by over the top of the stairs, and makes a curve around and disappears out of sight. You maneuver up and make your way to the crew level. Or the passenger level of the ship. Where are you going? Bedroom,
is there anything that points out to, if there are various bedrooms, is there anything that points out to a bedroom that may look like it's the more ostentatious? So, like, if there's more than one, is there one that looks like it's the main one?
The master bedroom is what you're looking for. Okay.
Yes.
Give me...
And if these people
Give
are talking
me.
loud, I would be listening also in case there's anything of value and relevance to what they're saying.
Go ahead and give me a easy perception check to do that, to accommodate that. As far as navigating this ship for, let's do a survival, easy as well. Survival check, just to track, just to figure out where the.
I keep meeting everything. I just keep matching everything, just getting a little advantage, but everything is just.
Okay. You can hear the murmurings of the crew overhead. Nothing that stands out. You can hear the captain calling out orders. Fuel reserves, check. Wind or weather report, check, so on and so forth. You're hearing those like obscure call outs, but everything else doesn't stand out. As far as the master bedroom of a luxury yacht like this is the first time you've been on something like of this nature. You don't know how to navigate this ship to find a master bedroom. Every bedroom looks like the master bedroom to you. What do you do?
I try to make sense of the symmetry of the way that it's built. If this is like, if there are three, which one is in the middle? You know, like he's just trying to look at anything that may indicate to the way that this is built, basically indicates this.
There's two bedrooms on the side walls of the yacht. And then there's one bedroom on the is it stern, which is the back of the ship?
Mm-hmm.
Stern, on the stern side of the ship.
He would move.
You make your way for the stern side bedroom, and it's very luxurious, very a lot of blues and reds and. With accents of gold throughout. It kind of feels like something that Arnd would sleep in.
Would there be any items or anything that would hint to something beyond just the core of the ship itself and more like of the ownership of whoever dwells here?
Like personal effects?
Yeah, like personal effects, like something like
a toothbrush.
Yeah, or like a particular piece of clothing or something that I'd be like, oh, that looks kind of like the thing that he was wearing. Or
you go to the wardrobe in the corner. You open it up, take a look to investigate, and you find a series of very pompous, very chic ship clothes, something that would be appropriate for being on a boat of sorts. On the door itself, you find a maroon and gold trimmed bathrobe.
Oho is actually going to grab the bathrobe. He's going to lay it very meticulously on the bed.
Okay.
And he's going to put the gem right next to it.
Okay. All right. You laid the gem and the maroon silk robe on the bed. What do you do?
Start making my way out.
This is when you make your way out. All right.
Yeah. This is my exit.
Easy.
And I will probably,
easy.
Yeah, will probably be the kind of thing where like, well, no, I'll probably let them know afterwards. But yeah, I'll communicate with like Raul afterwards.
Okay.
Once I'm clear.
You make your exit after setting up the jewel and the bathrobe, and you again meticulously time your movements in synchronization to the routes that the deckhands are making as they go about their business on the ship. make your way down to the deck level and depart the ship. You make your way back towards the dockmaster's what's the office called? The dockmaster's shack, we'll call it, and drop off the button up that you've procured back off there, and make your way towards Dove's position.
I'm going to say that for now, Oho, I think, is going to keep the vest, and he's going to stay in the area. He's still going to do his usual thing, but he's going to stay in the area with the vest because once he's cleared, he will probably communicate with Raul and Chav, letting them know package delivered. And that would be just his way of doing it. But he's going to stay in the area because he also wants to keep an eye on whenever Arendt arrives, if Vorst Tabrith arrives. And he probably wants to make sure that with all the situation, they need to time it well. Also, that if they need to call in on the authorities to make sure that they show up to the spectacle, they need to have eyes on that. So he will probably just coordinate with Dove, so they are keeping an eye on it from very different vantage points.
Gotcha. We're currently at 45 minutes away from the projected departure time. We transition down to the lower levels between levels 121 to 160 in the Market Road district, where Chav and Raul are making their way towards what's the fucking name? Market Road district. The shop's name is Hobie Rand's Fine Imported Goods, with Uno in tow. The audible clink, 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 clink as Uno follows closely behind the two of you with rifle in hand, imposing a very prominent security feature, but within your guys' presence, like is something that would intimidate even the lowliest of thugs from trying to interfere with your current mission. And your path is set before you. You know who you're here for, and you can see him, despite his short stature, over the massive crowds before you. Chav, Raul, who's taking point on this encounter?
Shit.
I mean, I've already talked to the guy.
Yeah, but should you talk to the guy?
Yeah, we're in public. Ish. What's the worst that could happen?
Truer words have never been spoken before. As Raul moves closer, and Oho makes the call, he's just gonna read your brother loud and clear. We're also making it our way. Still think that a cooked turkey would be the best way to do this, but here we go. We'll keep you informed of what's going on over here. And he's going to turn to Chav. Right, Oho's got the package delivered. And just waiting for our green light from our end.
Alrighty. Sounds like
Inquiry. What is a cooked turkey?
You know, I was just wondering that same thing.
Some bird, avian creature, like a pork, just bigger.
Giant.
Huh.
Interesting. All right. No time like the present. So you said that he's just kind of in the crowd of people.
Yeah, he's currently perusing the shop right now. He's looking at the jewelry section. Like the fact that he doesn't have the Kuruska gem in his possession, he's like desperately trying to find something that's going to bring Aris back to him.
Poor man.
What color was the Kuruska gem?
It is a orange crystal with a swirling white, like cloudy interior.
Got it. Chav is going to nonchalantly walk up next to him at the table, whatever he's looking at, and just kind of like start looking. And as he's looking, he's just going to kind of say under his breath, but loud enough for Vorse to hear him, I think that I'm looking for something a little bit bigger in orange. Seen anything recently?
Vorse kind of freezes in the moment. Not out of fear, but like the shock. The audacity of one who's been portrayed as the one that has robbed him of not only of his gem, but his entire financial holdings, his liquidated assets. And out of your peripheral, you can swear that this dude is glowing red right now.
Perfect.
You motherfucker.
Easy there, easy there. Now, we may have only spent one hot, passionate evening together. However, I don't think that you think that I'm dumb enough to come right up to somebody whose life I ruined and start taunting them with all kinds of stuff about something that he lost. Does that seem right? Does that seem like something that I would do? Because I don't think that's something I would do. I think what I would do is I'd actually point you into the direction of the motherfucker who ruined both of our lives.
What do you have that could possibly persuade me from crushing your head here in the streets right now?
The exact location of exactly what you're looking for that definitely doesn't quite fit on these shelves. And the name of the person who grabbed it from you.
Give me a name.
Just so as we're aware, this person screwed me over too. I ain't got nothing. And I ain't even asking for nothing. I just want you to give him what's coming to him. Now,
So you expect me to believe right here and now? And he's not being quiet about this discussion at all. He's being very vocally expressive in this moment. And go ahead and give me a average perception check, both you and Rawl and Uno.
Perception starts with P. Perception.
Perception.
Wow. One success, one advantage.
Okay. All of you succeed. The fact that Vorse starts getting very loud and agitated, you can spot several Nikto warriors intermittent throughout the crowd, now focused in on you and Vorse right now. In that moment, you hear Uno's gears start to whir as he takes in this observation and begins to calculate who he needs to kill and how efficiently he can do it.
With that, I'm just going to like put on a smile, lean in closer to him, and just be like, "We all go down if you don't keep quiet right now." Or you can come out on top. The way I know you can't.
I lost everything. All of my money. And you expect me to take your word at face value?
Well,
The man that convinced me to bid $1.5 million credits on a gem that just so happenly ended up in your hands.
No. If I had a Karuska gem, you think that I'd be sitting here?
You tell me. What do you want? What are you expecting from me?
I want to see the look on this motherfucker's face when you show him who he fucked over.
Give me a fucking name.
I want to see the look on that blue face of Arin Shen. And then he's going to look down at his proverbial watch and just say, "It looks like you got about 45 minutes before something called the Venture is about to take off from, I believe, Doc, what was it, like P3, P4?
P4.
How
I
you
know
that?
the ship.
Oh, look at you. You already were suspecting, weren't you?
What do you want for this convenient information?
Like I said, he ruined me. All I wanted was to be champion of the Cloud Car Grand Prix. I had that, and now that's gone. I only had 30,000 credits to my name, and I used most of that trying to stay down low enough just to not get my ass arrested. All I want is to know he suffered.
Jeff, I'm going to need you to give me a charm check. Or charm or deception. I mean, you're telling the truth in a sense, but you're also trying to deflect the heat that's on you right now. So I'll leave the choice up to you. Charm or deception.
Would you
It's
take
gonna be a
coercion?
coercion only works under duress, and he's not. You know what? He is desperate.
I will tell you this: the role for coercion and deception is the same. I just think that coercion makes more sense thematically. But either way,
Give me your Give me your explanation of why coercion fits better.
because I'm not necessarily just flat out trying to lie to him. Like Chev would lie to a cop. I wasn't there. I didn't do this. Hey, I don't got no gem on me. My hands are clean. That's deception.
Mm.
I am coercing him into a form of action. I'm trying to get him to have an appropriate response to what I'm trying.
And I am giving him bardic inspiration. I just want you to know.
I like that. Chav, give me a coercion check against a hard difficulty, 1 failure, 3 threats, and also add on 3 boost die to that check.
Gentlemen of Core Atlas,
Let's go.
might I use a light side token in this case?
I say yes.
I'm seeing one nod.
We literally need this to work for the plan to happen.
Roll a force die.
Alrighty, thank you, sirs. Gonna boost. All right, Victor, say it. Chav is the force is with Chav.
Chav is the force is with Chav. Chav is the force is with Chav.
Not bad.
That works.
So breaking even, 1 success.
A success, 1 advantage.
threat.
Or 1 threat, yeah. Ooh, how does that appear? Chav, you feel confident in the words that you've spoken. Feeling there's no deception. There's a level of deception in your words, but it is overshadowed by the truth that you've revealed. Nonetheless, force does grab you by the throat and pulls you in close. This is gonna form. This threat's gonna form. Is gonna take form in a point of wound as he does choke you. You can feel him choking the air out of your throat.
Knowing that I'm trying to coerce him into a certain form of action, and this is the response that I've gotten immediately. One wound does suck. Chav is going to play it up a little bit more and just kind of like start the choking noises, apprehensively put one hand on his wrist, like trying to get him to calm down.
Yeah,
but like not really shooting or anything.
Rewind that. It's not going to be wounds. It's going to be strain. Sorry, not wounds. Wounds is more of a bleeding feature. This is more of a asphyxiation. So yeah, you play into it, and you can see the anger seething in his eyes as he looks you square right into the eyes, trying to decipher the deception, trying to identify, are you fucking lying to me? His face boiling red. The beer, you could smell the alcohol radiating from his breath and the cigars that he's been chewing and smoking all for the past 3 days. He's not been keeping up with his hygiene. He smells horrendous.
I mean, so does Chav.
Listen here, you gold-skinned prick. I find out you're lying to me. I'm coming for everything. Everything. Your kneecaps, your ship, your fucking family. I'm coming for everything. You understand me?
Straining, trying to get enough of breath to say just a few words, as with just a little bit of a smirk. Not like a I'm getting away with something smirk, like a I want, like, this is good, I want you mad smirk because you're going to do this. I'm just going to say, give him hell.
With that, he thrusts you to the ground.
I let it happen.
Snap.
I fall into a table.
You clamber to the ground. Vorus straightens his posture back up, recollects himself. You can hear the audible crackling of bone as he pops the air pockets in his neck, and he turns to his entourage, snaps his fingers. Let's go. We have a date at the Venture Skyside. I want to be there in 20 minutes or less. Understood? And you hear the entourage chant in unison. Whew! And they all move out simultaneously, surrounding, like, what you perceived was like 6 guards. As Vorse starts to move out of the marketplace and out into the open, you see 10, 15, 20 security guards all move again. He is ready to start a fucking war at this point.
Chav's just down on all fours, one hand rubbing his throat, like looking down, wincing, like taking deep breaths, and he's just gonna stay there.
Raw walks up, hands in his pockets, and kind of just stands over him, looks down. You know you almost lost your head there, right?
At that point, Chev, like looking now, gonna look around, make sure everybody's gone, and stand up, adjust himself, and just go. I had him right where I wanted him. Let your brother know that there's a small army coming for him.
Uno
Small
walks
army.
up.
Don't you mean Raging Inferno?
Yeah, that dude.
Uno walks up next to you. He's adjusting the sights on his scope as his head turns slightly towards you. Clarifying statement. Love is a high-velocity plasma bolt traveling at 120 kilometers and impacting the midsection of a meat bag, spilling its internal components onto the ground before them, followed by a secondary bolt to the meat bag's central processing unit.
Yes.
Shall I annihilate this meat bag?
No, don't. We want him alive. We want him wriggling. All right. Let's leave this alone for now. Let the plan play out.
Yeah, we're gonna regroup with the others, and then we're gonna figure out if you need to shoot anybody. Okay, if and who those people might be.
Uno will holster or shoulder the sniper rifle into its place and take up a more of a domesticated protocol droid visage as you guys make your way back towards. That's a good question. Where are we going? We going back to the safe house? We going? Where are we going?
I mean, if we're not making any movements to seize the money that's in the account, then I would say go back to the Chimera.
You do have access to a hacker that was able, or a slicer that was able to slice into the accounts of one prominent figure at one point. I mean, it's reasonable to assume he could do it again, but I mean,
that should have been a conversation we had before we engaged.
Right. Now the time's a little short.
Yeah, if this goes the way that we want and we involve the authorities, they're gonna freeze his assets and we're not gonna get shit.
Exactly.
All right, so we're just gonna let it happen. Okay. The funds in his account is very damning for sure. Granted, it's not the entirety of the funds that was procured, but it's damning all the same. That being said, you guys have a lot to. You guys have your plan in place. You need to see that this goes through. So it's reasonable to assume that you guys would all probably meet up Skyside to see this plan through in its entirety.
I think that Chev, Raul, and Uno should be in the area, but we're not in a position to like join OO or Dove even.
Right.
So close enough to respond if needed.
Close enough to provide support, but not in direct line of sight.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys make your way topside or skyside as it's called, and take up a position at a diner, a portside diner. Just get a cup of coffee and remain in close proximity.
If I may, also, I would say that the moment that Raul would inform Oho that Vorse is on his way, Oho will probably communicate with Dub and say, "Oh, what do you think about informing the authorities and the news that there might be a story for them to cover in a few minutes?"
Already on it. And as you look, you're still dockside, correct?
That would be the moment that I know that Vorse is on his way and Dove is contacting people. That would be the moment that Oho removes the the shirt from the docks to basically like, and would find a vantage point that's like a stealthy vantage point, because at that point is like he's no longer wants to be associated with the dock because the dock is about
Yeah.
to become a
So
point of interest.
at this point in time, it is about 15 minutes till departure time. You do start seeing a lot of traffic heading your way, and that's when you start making your way out. Aran Shen's transport does pull up immediately after you pull around the corner into an alleyway, and you see him depart his vehicle. He confidently strides across the docks, makes his way to the Venture, and not even 2 minutes after, a fleet of cars pull up, landing with with urgency along the dockside, and you can see a squadron of armed men pouring out of these vehicles, surrounding one man in a dark violet purple suit, great bushy brown beard, long straight hair, short statured, burly individual. The same Vorst Tabrith you've encountered once before from a distance. And you hear from your communicator, and we're rolling. As you can reasonably assume, Dove is now recording the footage from her vantage point above. Vorse and a entourage of 5 guards enter the docks in pursuit of Arnd. Arnd, still currently unawares to the situation, makes his way to the crew quarters, or the passenger quarters of his ship. And within a minute of him disappearing into the quarters, you get a call. The crew gets a call from Aran Shen.
Rawl answers.
Oh, I was gonna say, let it go to voicemail.
I mean, yeah, Rawl
Vol-
answers. Rawl answers.
Vorse is currently tied up with the dockhands, as they're like trying to get clarification as to who, what ship he's here for, or who he's visiting, to make sure that he's on the manifest to be part of this, whatever ship that he's trying to occupy. But Arend, on the other hand, you answer his call.
Hello, Cricket's Jewelers.
I must admit, your lot has managed to impress me with your resilience. You're a lot tougher to kill than I anticipated.
Comes from a long line of pain and suffering. So, yes, tough is one way to put it.
Am I to assume that this gift that's left in my quarters is a means of framing me?
No, just giving you to what you truly deserve, that's all. You put on a good show. What? It's been an honor and a privilege working for such a very astute man. Very
Well,
tactical showman, if you will.
why don't you come visit me at my ship, as you've already done so before, apparently, and we can talk business.
What is there to discuss? You have the gem that you want.
Am I hearing this?
Yes, so, I mean, if you open the communication with Rawl,
Yeah.
yeah, you would be hearing this.
There's a part of me that is just like, let the deckhands tell the deckhands they can to tell the deckhands let them through.
Let
Huh.
them.
Huh.
Let,
Yeah.
Let who through?
Do you want us to meet? Then tell your deckhands to let us through.
In the background, you can hear, so Shed, we have a problem outside. There's a group of men here saying that they're here to speak with you. What should we do? Let them in. Let them in.
right, we should be with you shortly.
Arnd ends the communication. However, Dove, with her her long range surveillance equipment, she gets the full picture of what's going on at this point.
Is Dove recording this, or do we have?
Yes.
Okay.
She's recording.
Within a minute of Vorse being allowed onto the ship deck itself, Vorse storms his way up to the passenger quarters and into the room with Aran Shen. Dove points her directional microphone towards that passenger quarter, and you can hear over and she'll broadcast this to the rest of you as well. You can hear the exchange. Core Atlas, is that? Wait, who? Vorse Tablet, what are you doing here? You motherfucker! You thought you could rob me and get away with it. This is all purely a misunderstanding. You don't understand what you're dealing with. I am not hearing another fucking word out of your goddamn blue mouth. I'm taking every credit that you owe me out of your fucking flesh. Do you understand me? You took a million credits from me. I'm getting every inch of that credit back in flesh. Do you understand? Vorse, you are making a mistake. We are both being played right now. Not another fucking word from you, Shen. You are done. You are so fucking done. This is my fucking town, and you think you can play me? You think you can play me in my town? Boys, string them up. String them up over the edge of this fucking ship. We're going for a ride.
Is Shen's his communicator, is it like in his ear or like on his wrist or something?
The communicator was shut off, but you're getting this audio feedback from Dove's side, because she's using a directional microphone, so he can't hear you guys at this point.
My question is, like, because they're tying him up, is the communicator in his ear?
No, it's a hand. It's
okay.
Dove is using a microphone to amplify the sound so that we can hear it.
He wants to call him and be like, "Hey, fuck you."
No. Look, all that we need at this point is, as he's swinging from the bow of his own yacht, driving overhead, just to see Core Atlas in frickin' sun chairs with tea and wine and mimosas, just go, hi.
We're just seeing the shawarmas from the Avengers, watching the whole thing. Just
as this is as this happens,
honestly, that
you can see Vorse's men, the ones that remained on the dock, all start to pour in onto the ship itself, and they start kicking the crew off onto the deck, the deck itself, and overboard into the atmosphere of Bespin. There's no discretion. They're just throwing people overboard, either on the docks or over into the atmosphere. This is a very bloodthirsty crew right now, and they are taking it out on anyone that gets in their path. The ship begins its departure from the port at this time on schedule, and Dove is able to see the silhouette of what appears to be a man being strung up over the over the bow of the ship and being hung by the neck over the atmosphere of Bespin, and you can see him dangling in what seems like he's desperately gasping for air as he's essentially being asphyxiated by way of hanging. And Dove is broadcasting this footage live across the holonet at the same time, and all the while you can hear the sudden blaring of sirens, blaring of sirens as they begin to draw near. By this point, Core Atlas takes this as their sign to depart and make their way back down towards the lower levels.
Mm-hmm.
As you guys descend into on the turbo lift, we'll go ahead and take this time to take our 5-minute intermission. We'll be back shortly. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome back to all my lovely viewers of To Be Diced Adventures. I am so glad to have you guys here. Actually, let's switch over screens here so you guys can get my, big beautiful face and whatnot.
The whole visual.
The whole visage. I am so glad you guys are here. This is a very important segment as we are closing out the final chapter of the Jewel of Yavin and entering into an open galaxy adventure for the Core Atlas crew. This also marks a very significant moment as one of our own, Victor, will be taking a small hiatus due to his personal ventures, and we wanted to make sure that we give him a perfect send-off for his character temporarily, because we do plan on having him back eventually. We just needed to make sure that we ended on the right note, in that sense. That being said, this will also his departure will also affect our other campaign, the Dimensional Dial of Dr. Diago, as he plays the blind monk, our basic father figure of the party. So we will be taking the Dimensional Dial will be taking the campaign story will be taking a small hiatus as we embark on a series of spin-off stories in the various dimensions that we've passed through so far, allowing for possible reintroductions of past characters that we've encountered so far to reemerge, or tell entirely new stories. That's the situation with the Dimensional Dial. Tales of Varden is also on a 2-week hiatus, as there's 1 week where we can't, 2 weeks we can't get most of the primary cast together to continue the story, so we're gonna take 2 weeks to produce some one shots for the time being. So a lot of interruptions to the slate this week, unfortunately, and we do apologize for that. But send out your thoughts and wishes to those that need it, and stay tuned, as we have lots of stories still to tell with 2B Dice Adventures, and all departures are not always permanent. So just maintain faith or trust in the Force, as one would say. That being said, any other announcements that we have? Matt, Victor, Oz? Nope. Ready to get back into the story?
Let's fucking do it.
Let's fucking do it indeed. You guys are riding on a high right now. The plan that you came up with practically off the cuff seemingly is going without a hitch. You managed to set up two very prominent figures in the dealings of the Kuruski gem to be implicated or compromised with the presence of a fake gem, which is still very damning in itself. Even if it is a fake, it's still the question. It still raises the question: what are you doing with this? How did you get your hands on this? And you can't help but feel accomplished in this moment, as you guys have major ways to various turbo lifts, not all together because that would draw too much attention to each other, still separately. That being said, at this time, I'm going to ask for an average stealth check from you guys. I am going to cash in a dark side token to upgrade one of those difficulties to a challenge. So let's get a difficulty from or a stealth check from everybody. Said average? Yeah, I said average. I'm going to upgrade to a one difficulty. Shit. So everybody rolls a stealth check. Of course, Chav. Of course. Oh!
Well, you did say
Oh!
You did say send off.
Oh, shit!
I don't have any bonuses. Oh, fuck yes.
I hate you. Fucking hate you. Dove, where are you at? Dove, I need you to fail. Dove, I need you to fucking fail. Give me a fucking failure, please.
Here we go.
Wait, I didn't ask if I had the extra boost die during this check.
No, because then I would have to give it to everybody else as well. Fuck!
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, I'll pocket that triumph, thank you.
So can Victor borrow a couple of my successes as an IOU?
Right.
You guys aren't near each other, damn it.
No, we're not.
It's okay.
I know.
I give it to him on Success app instead of Cash app.
Oh shit! You know what? This marks the first time Oho is spotted by the cameras. Granted,
But
he's
you
still
can know.
obscured. That's where the advantages accumulate in. His vision is still obscured,
I
but
mean,
it
even
does.
if he's spotted by the cameras, it's like, so what? Like, there's no
Yeah.
reference space. Like,
Right,
space is nowhere.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's you're spotted by the cameras.
Actually,
Mm,
You weren't wearing the
if
shroud.
this is- if this is a spotting for like identifying my character, there would be 2 setback die on that.
No, this is just a general stealth check. As you know, you have to navigate past security cameras. This is not like an outright trying to spot you. This is you getting past security cameras without being spotted. That being said, you are spotted, but you're not identified. That's what the advantages accumulate as in the form of.
Person in the camera.
Yeah,
Somebody matching Ojo's description is spotted leaving the scene of the crime. Any affiliation with Core Atlas? No idea.
No. Right. So it's still suspicious. It's just, I mean, it's not 100% confirmed. So that's what that failure forms is formed as, or framed as. So you're not explicitly identified. So that's the situation. Okay. Fuck. I wanted somebody to get spotted.
We're all eventually going to get brought in, and when they're reading everything, they're going to go, so we have 3 people who are suspects in all of these crimes, and 1 person who is a person of interest.
Right. Essentially. That being said, news travels quick within Cloud City, especially when you are broadcasting on an open channel with live footage of a hostile takeover of a luxury yacht of a bureaucrat that is well known on Cloud City, and that news gets broadcasted live on the Holo News Network. As you guys are on your respective turbo lifts throughout, spread throughout the city, the displays illuminate around you. And the immediate visage before you is a luxury yacht over Cloud City with the title live execution of prominent bureaucrat. And you could see at the bow of the ship somebody dangling from the bow by the neck. His garb is a maroon robe with gold trim, and he's just hanging there lifelessly. Arms dangling at his side as the ship cruises over the city. It's not following its plotted trajectory or flight course. It's Vorse is making a fucking show of force. Like, you cross me, this is what happens to you.
For the camera view, I feel like Raw would be in a lift that has like 4 or 5 other people in it, and he'll like lean over and turn the volume knob to the max.
Yeah.
For this, this thing.
The broadcast, a gruesome display of violence shown today on the ports of Cloud City as prominent bureaucrat Aaron Shen is being prostrated across the city at the bow of his own ship, the Venture. Viewer discretion is advised. The images you're about to see are quite disturbing, and it just flashes stills of Vorse from Aaron from various different angles. Mind you, his face is blurred, but you can see the dangling body. The body itself is also blurred, but not as heavily as his face is. You get a sense that they're trying to not reveal the identity of the bureaucrat of Aaron Shen outright, because family members need to be notified first before you reveal the identity of somebody that's been brutally murdered. It's just not good faith to do that type of broadcasting. So you can see the very posh robes that he's adorned in through the blurred imagery with the gold trim, and you can get a sense that this is your intended target being dealt with by another one of your intended targets. The news article continues on. The casino mogul Vorse Tablet, currently in possession of the bureaucrat's luxury yacht, refuses to comply with Wingard officers as they are continuing to observe and pursue the venture to safely apprehend the offenders. Vorse Tablet, as you know, is a prominent casino mogul, and the revelation of his involvement in the death of a city official is quite disturbing. I do apologize, but this information has too shaken me, and I hope you can bear with me. News article continues on about Aaron's past, Bill's past as a city official, so on and so forth, but they don't explicitly name him outright. But yeah, so yeah, it's clear as day that Aaron's been killed and is being prostrated throughout the city.
Oh no, what happened?
Towards the tail end of that broadcast, Rawls is going to discreetly call Oho, because we're all separated, right? As we're heading, okay. Yeah, Rawls going to call Oho. It's like, you didn't happen to leave the stove on your way out the door, did you?
No need. The more this flies around, the better.
Oh well. Don't like leaving loose ends, but I guess a loose cannon is fairly all right. not much he can do, right? This Vors.
And as you say Boris's name, you can the newsfeed cuts to a camera footage of the deck, specifically the crew deck, the top level, and you can see Vors Taberth on the crew deck, pointing up at the news car overhead, currently recording him, and he's just giving them the middle finger. You can see him shouting expletives at the camera and whatnot. Like, he has this deranged look in his eyes, like he does not give a fuck right now. He feels invulnerable, and it's just nothing he's doing right now can fucking affect him, and it's just, it's not a good sight. It's not for him, not for anyone involved.
Emphasis on the loose bit of the cannon.
Yeah.
You guys continue your descent down to the lower levels, making your way towards safety within the depths of Cloud City. What's your guys' first course of action? Are we meeting back at the safe house?
I think the destination should be the Chimera because we're good now.
Yeah, RS
Give
is
us all the
gone.
gold.
Jen's been dealt with.
Only go back to the safe house if we got to grab something and maybe to say goodbye to Galt. But if we don't have to stop there, I'd just give him a call and just, hey, thanks for letting us stay with you for a little while.
I will say that you guys did change gear to avoid detection to go topside, so you would have to get your gear back from the safe house.
Yeah. So definitely should do that. Don't want to leave all of our fancy things.
Mm-hmm.
True.
So yeah.
So you guys,
while we're there, just make sure that Galt knows, like, we've done what we've come to do, and now we're going.
that's a good question. That's a good point that you bring up. Galt, did you brief him ahead of time or after the fact that you brought your ship down to his landing pad?
Yes, I would have, because that is his landing pad. I don't want to be like, hey, what the fuck is this? And then bad shit happens.
Okay. He would have briefed you that it would cost you about 120 credits to keep your ship safely tucked away per day. So in total, 360.
He's a businessman.
I guess that's fine.
He's got to make some coin on the side in order to fucking maintain a profit. But you get a sense that with that dealings that he gave you the shorter end or the cheaper end of his, or a discount. He gave you a discount, is what I'm trying to say.
Then that's fine. Chav squares up with him, and on the way out, he just goes, "Did you leave me a couple souvenirs to take to your relatives in Narshada?"
In what form are you referring to?
We sort of had a little back and forth that Chav, as thanks, would smuggle something for him.
Oh, that's right. Tabana spun gas. Actually,
I don't have my smuggler's holes, but as long as avoid.
what would you be more inclined to shipping? Tabana spun gas or spice?
I think we've lost him at.
He froze.
Yeah. We have lost him at. We have lost the Chav Visto.
He got too excited about the smuggling.
Yep. So what happens, kids, when you're dealing with the bad juju stuff.
Don't do spices.
Frozen in space.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Say no to spices. Otherwise, you will end up like Chav, frozen.
Oh,
yep.
There is he back? Are we back?
Hello?
Still froze.
Hello?
There we go.
Disembodied voices.
There we are.
That's what Spice does.
There we go. All right, Chav.
This is you. This is your brain on spice.
Did you hear my inquiry or my
I
proposition
did.
for you?
Honestly, I know that the Tabana would probably be a higher payday, but I
Spice
think
is
that
probably going to be easier to offload.
yeah, a little less dangerous too.
All right, so it'd be what's the shipment of spice in Star Wars? I think it is.
Some oregano, paprika.
I will hash out the exact weights later, but yes, you will have a shipment of spice already loaded onto your ship, as per your arrangement with Galt. That is scheduled for arrival at Nar Shaddaa. No determined arrival date, but it does need to go there.
Got it.
Somebody is expecting it there. So that being the case, you guys get your gear from your safe house. Galt does not meet you there, or nor do you get a message from him at that point in time. You try to reach out to him, and you get a busy signal at the moment. You just reasonably assume that he's a man of business. He's got a lot of shit going on, especially at this time of day. Speaking of which, I need to be updating my fucking notes. I keep forgetting to do that. All right. This is day 5. Wait, no, day 7. Day 7. Oh shit, we're day 7 on Bespin. Okay.
The amount of stuff we accomplished in a week.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this is
Yeah.
like closer.
This is the final. This is day 7 of Bespin. You guys accomplished a fuck ton of shit in just fucking 4 days.
What
That's
do you guys
insane.
do on your 7th day? Sightseeing.
Satisfied.
Hanging around.
Just hanging. We just hang.
Satisfied with the outcome of your guys' plans today, with Arend and Vorse. The only reasonable assumption at this point is to get off the fucking planet now while the heat is off of you.
Yep.
Yeah, we just gave the media the biggest distraction. Terrorists yesterday, public execution today. So, yeah, it's time to leave.
You guys make your way towards the spaceport, the abandoned spaceport that you left your ship at. Rawl, you can't help but shake a cold sensation in your spine. And it grows stronger the closer you get towards the spaceport. But there's nothing that indicates the justification of this bad feeling of sorts that you're feeling. So you kind of brush it off and you're just like, it's whatever. Maybe it's the anticipation of getting off of this fucking planet that's getting to me.
What is it with you and Matt doing this cold foreboding bullshit for my characters?
Listen, I gave your character foresight, all right? I'm going to toy with it.
And I gave your character trauma.
Which, same thing.
To be fair, in both aspects, I guess I gave it to myself. So,
yeah, you guys are making your way to the spaceport. I'm on the wrong page. There we go. With Arn's betrayal dealt with and a sense of accomplishment within your core. You guys make your way triumphantly to Galt Spaceport. Everything seems to be looking up as you guys approach the landing pad. And as you're about to pass the abandoned security checkpoint, you guys receive a call from Galt Renow.
Hey, I don't know what you did or who you pissed off, but it seems like your activity has caught the attention of some people. They killed everyone. I barely got out with my life, but if you're heading to the spaceport, I think twice, my friends.
As he says that, you can hear the ship. You can hear it. The thrum of the engine of a spaceship or a starship being fired up, and the boom of the engines as his ship begins to ascend, and you can hear the audible clicking and punching of buttons from Galt as he ascends.
Look, if I don't hear from you after this, I just wanted to say, you folks were my best recent customers, and you will be missed. This is Gulliver now, signing off.
Do we respond?
Why don't we want to go to the spaceport, Tarzan?
Do we
What's
respond?
wrong at Port Tarzan?
As he signs off, as the communication comes to an end, you can see the glow of 4 ion engines igniting as Galt's ship begins to leave the abandoned spaceport and ascend into the sky outside the spaceship, the city.
I'm gonna say
As-
immediately that call happened, Oho probably went on his separating from the group just to get to an area where it's unseen, so that he can keep an eye on the group from a different POV.
All
As you do.
We're going to have a plan. And Oho's gone.
As you do, you do stumble over the bodies of over the body, and as you guys all look around, the corridor that you're walking through is littered with bodies, dozens, carbon scoring markings all throughout, and what seems like carbon scoring marks, as if somebody was swinging a beam of energy about throughout the corridor as well.
They don't have those in Star Wars.
Several of these bodies are dismembered, missing heads, limbs, dismembered at the waist, dismembered vertically.
Those terms are bisected.
Bisected, there we go. Or sundered. It's a very gruesome scene that's before you.
Oh shit!
Before seeing any of this, Rawls just kind of stay there, standing, looking up, and watching Galt's ship just fade off into the stratosphere. Like, well, that's never good to see. Someone who we were supposed to be able to trust and who knows this place like the back of his hand is running for his life. And then he'll look down. That's why. Should have left a long time ago.
Honestly, I'll say it right here. We probably shouldn't have taken the job.
A little late for that. Let's move.
As you look up
Oh,
from the carnage down the corridor, you see the silhouette of a dark figure at the end of the passageway. The silhouette of the figure is then quickly illuminated by a vibrant beam of crimson energy that remains in place after it extends its full length, just peeking over his left shoulder. Off to the side of the figure, the silhouette of a smaller figure in the clutches of the one wielding the red-bladed weapon. Get off me! I said I ain't know nothing! A familiar voice to both Oho and Rawl as the voice echoes down the corridor. The small figure can be seen struggling to pull away from the taller one desperately.
The kid.
Yep.
It's kid.
Yep.
I mean, yeah. If all hasn't been spotted, he will probably try to make his like stealth approach.
Do I see the two of them? Not three. Do I see
You
the two
you
of them?
see a golden-skinned Nothuan, a dark-skinned Thursian, a droid that appears to you as a protocol droid, and a Zabrakian bounty hunter. You do not see it. Oh. Actually, Oho, go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
Mm-hmm.
Do I roll a perception check?
Yes, that's going to be against a hard difficulty.
Okay.
Oho does impose a 2 setback die to perception check to be perceived. So go ahead and add those 2 black dice to your perception. Ooh, we need to add you to the table. Shit.
Technically, that's like that's for identifying me though. I don't know if that applies to like just a regular stealth, because that would be indistinguishable.
All right. Then never mind. It's just hard difficulty. But go ahead and join the game table that I sent in the private chat, and then roll your perception.
Yep.
Is this what it feels like, guys? Is this what it feels like every time I pull this shit on you guys?
Yes. Yes,
Welcome
it
to
does.
the other side.
This is the icy sting of
Alright,
the DM's
Mm.
knife that just gets to twist right in your back.
Hi guys, it's great to see all of you.
Hi, buddy.
One. Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Oh. Oh.
Damn.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So, Lost Brother, you
Oh.
Yeah.
you
That's 2.
technically succeed with a triumph because it still remains after the failure, but
Mhm.
Oho's stealth is so fucking good that no, you're not spotting him.
Okay.
I'll say that we're gonna pocket that triumph and take the failure to perceive, because you are essentially my little minion that I get to influence. So
And we're gonna end the session because triumphs don't carry over to the next session. So, sorry, guys.
Not so
Oho.
Nope. Goodbye.
Oho, however, you can go ahead and use your triumph if you want to add to that success to make it an innate success or whatever you want. I don't care. I think you guys already have like 3 triumphs at your disposal at this point.
I'm pretty sure I'm already successful,
Okay.
and I can still hold on to that triumph for now.
Yeah, no. So Oho, you do not perceive at all. He had slinked off before this encounter. But go ahead and take the scene with the script that I gave you.
As I just grip tightly around the back of this kid's neck, looking at the people I see in front of me, my head kind of just twitches and just sort of like shudders a little bit, as if like the cracking of bones is appearing. The Force. It whispers to me. It reveals all. My head immediately shunts towards the Zabrak, towards the golden one, towards the droid, towards the one in the back. Hello there. I can see the Force tilts around and about you. Tell me, which one of you commands the Force as I do?
begins
Reveal
to walk-
yourself to me!
As he yells that out, he walks forward with the child dragging behind him. His demeanor maddens the closer he draws to you.
It's a child. It's a child.
It's the urchin that you've met before when you sought out Galt.
He's being dragged by the neck. Is he unconscious?
No, he's still conscious, and you just heard his voice calling out or telling this individual he doesn't know what he's talking about. And as he says, as he's being dragged forward, I told this. He looks to the group of you. Look, I told this freak I don't know nothing. He just keeps saying he could smell the Force or whatever on me.
Silence, rat! And just like grip even tighter.
In that moment, as he yells that, Cade reaches out from his boot and slams a shiv right into this individual's hand. Reactively, the Sith throws the boy to the ground. The crew watches from a distance too far to intervene as the Sith raises his crimson blade overhead and goes to thrust it down upon this child. The momentum coming to a sudden and abrupt halt in the air as it seems to be held in place. Eliza, emerging from the darkness from the side, her arm extended, seemingly holding the blade through the Force. Let the boy go, Sith. She takes several steps forward towards the Sith as she withdraws from her cloak the hilt of her lightsaber and holds it at her side.
And what's this? The Force saw fit to reward my loyalty with a second prize?
His grip tightens on the hilt of the blade. As he struggles to wrestle the blade free, his eyes widen with madness as he sets his sights upon her. Eliza turns to you. Go to your ship. I'll deal with this one. Without breaking eye contact. Without breaking eye contact, Eliza gives Court Atlas the go-ahead to bypass the Sith. At this time, I would like to hand off the rest of the scene to Victor, as this is now his story to tell.
Court Atlas, you get the opening to go to the ship. Do you do so?
That was 100% in character. Chav is just going to awkwardly say okay and start walking.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want anything to do with a scary dude with a fuck off laser sword.
I mean,
Really?
Nope. Not my business.
is the kid still in the Inquisitor's grasp right now?
No. Kid freed
on the-
himself.
So
And yeah,
if we're, is he gone?
yeah. The moment that like Stab moved away,
Okay.
he
All
fell.
right.
He was going to be struck, but Eliza was able to stop the saber. As soon as the kid saw the saber being stopped and Eliza showing up, he scurried away, got up, and went to disappear.
Okay. So if he's gone, then yeah, Raw's gonna follow suit.
All right. You all make your way inside. And as you're making your way inside, you begin to hear the sound of blade versus blade. And if you were to look back, you are seeing this Eliza, this small frame figure against this lost brother engaged in combat. And in the distance, Chav, you hear it first because you're used to this. But you can hear the change in the air that hints to engines and ships potentially getting close. City's high alert. Situation is dire. Time is running thin.
Chav standing on the ramp of the Northwind Chimera. And we made it that far?
Yeah.
So if we're that far still holding it open, just knowing the nature of them, waiting for Dove and Rawl and Uno, he's just going to hit the communicator and go, "Oh, Joe, you'd better tell me that you're already on the ship."
No response.
Rawl is not ascending the ramp just yet until we can try to figure out what the fuck's going on. Because as far as he knew, his brother was right there behind him. Just
Chav says you better be on the ship. And you just hear, yes, from behind you. We gotta go. And he goes into the ship.
Then Chav gets on the ship. It's time to go.
okay. He's going to look at his brother. Is he dressed as he usually is?
He's, the moment you guys went to the moment that you guys went to the safe house, you all changed. He changed once more, and he proceeded to move now with his own stuff.
He's
a little,
still wearing...
a little altered, like his own like usual like clothing, but a little altered just because of the fact that he knows that he has been spotted. So while he's still in this area, he's gonna make it look a little different, but it's this typical stuff.
Okay, so the hood's up and everything.
Yeah.
He's been gone for a minute. Can I have seen his face as he passed?
Oh, if you're asking if you know whether or not it is your brother, it is your brother.
Okay.
If that's what you're trying to like
ascertain. Yes.
Yeah.
That is a fact. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. You would have seen his eyes. You would have like his very like signature eyes and everything. So
yeah. No problems here. Gonna follow suit. Being last on the ship.
All right. So everybody is on board, Chev.
Then we are just walking through the retrofitted hangar bay past Dove's ship, calling out to Rawl, just do a quick sweep. It's been a while since we're back on the baby, so you got to make sure that she's not going to blow up as soon as we turn her on. And I'm going to go turn her on.
All right, give me a second.
Just
and he'll just fly through everything. He's while he is going fast, he is making sure he's hitting all the fucking dockets, making sure that everything's good because we need to get out of here fast, but we need to actually make it out of here fast.
Yep. And just
Um,
running
You-
through everything.
Chap, where are you? Where are you currently on the ship?
Heading towards the cockpit,
You move toward the cockpit.
the bridge, if you will.
You move through the bridge. You move toward the cockpit. You get there, ready to start the engines and get everything started. You can spot the lightsabers fighting the motion. And then your eyes look a little past. And you see officers appearing on foot.
Wingard officers or Imperial officers?
Wingard. And you can start to feel the humming of the Chimera as the feeling of ships are coming also increases.
Raul, you give me the okay. Like hand on the throttle, ready to throw it in full reverse and get out of here.
You will hear from the back. Yeah, right. We're good to start. I can run the rest of the engines checks in low orbit, so don't just quite leave the planet yet.
Mid sentence of like, I can run the rest of the weapons check. We are in reverse, taking off.
Yep.
Chav, you pull the reverse to start a takeoff. The ship elevates and starts moving. And all of a sudden, you just feel the hull of the ship just, and you look down and you see this figure with that red blade, hand extended, just keeping the ship there. It happens in an instant, but you see as Eliza shows up and attempts to strike, throwing her blade, and this figure with the hand of the saber parries it. The blade flies. Eliza pulls it back, but as he does, the blade hits a pipe. And this pipe explodes, and now there's black smoke that just is spewing, covering the area of the dock and the area where the ship is. And it's becoming hard to see. But now you can actually begin to see through the smoke above you the spotlights of ships that are beginning to arrive, trying to see where you guys are.
So, my question here. We were in the ship, facing out the cockpit.
Mm-hmm.
That way's out.
Mm-hmm.
Start backing up. Individual grabs. So they're in front of me?
They are. So is Eliza.
How close is Eliza to this individual?
Close. Like she's moving toward him right now. That saber flew. And the thing is that now, as the smoke continues to increase, you begin to lose the sight. The thing that you get to see now is just the dancing of the blades.
Eliza's a good person. We're not going to have her smile for the camera, so we're just going to use maneuvers and everything that we can to take the Chimera up to the max speed of 5, and as needed, we are going to full throttle and take that max speed to 6. Full reverse.
The Chimera groans is just fighting with all its might. This figure, his feet slide, and you see a moment where Eliza manages to strike, and he needs to move to block her, releasing the ship. It jolts you guys like it's a whiplash. It just throws you. If you were not secured wherever you were standing or sitting, you probably get thrown off. And it's just a moment of strikes before a spark of malfunction seems to happen, and the blue lightsaber seems to go off and on, unstable, unstable. And now you just see in the darkness of the shadows the lightsaber moving backwards as the red one seems to, the green saber moving backwards as the red one approaches. And now you can hear from the ships, dock immediately. You are surrounded. Dock immediately.
Can I rotate the Chimera so we're facing away from the dock?
Yes, you can.
Maybe, there's a thing you're not supposed to do when you're a pilot of a ship of a certain size. But given our proximity, and maybe this will just shake things up enough for Eliza to hopefully get away, I want to hit the hyperdrive.
Chad.
Okay. Above the table. Above the table.
Yeah, bad things happen when you hit the hyperdrive in orbit.
Hold on. Let the scene play out. There's more. Billy Mays here.
Right, but if Chav's gonna hit the hyperdrive right now, I'm just saying that thing's not gonna happen. Okay? Because the Tabata gas is gonna ignite. And the whole planet goes boom.
Whoa. I just heard black smoke. That's Tabana gas?
No. I'm talking about the planet.
Tabata, first off, the likeliness of detonating an entire planet just from going into hyperdrive is very minimal.
Also, cloud
doesn't work like that.
Of the Tabana cloud.
Yeah. Secondly, Victor has a whole other scene that we need to cover right now. So buckle in, prepare yourselves, get your drinks ready because you're about to cry. All right.
Chad.
All right, go ahead.
You start turning the ship. And as you start turning the ship, you hear a sound above it. You hear like a brief clunk, dum, 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 dum.
Why do I hear that?
You make the decision that you're going to hit this hyperdrive. The ship gets once more pulled as you're turning. You're not fully turned. You're not fully out of the way.
I can't hit the hyperdrive until I'm not facing a solid object.
And then the comm links open. Chev. Keep them alive, or I'll kill you myself. And it's at that moment when you hear the sound above you, and it's getting clearer as it gets closer, and you realize that it's footsteps. And above you, and from the view of the front of the ship, Oho dangles himself. And he tries to look in to find his brother. And if his brother is there, he smiles at him and he says, I'll see you where the sands dance. Knowing well that is something that you know what it means. And it's in that moment that he grabs both hands, facing you, Chav, and then puts his feet against it. He pushes himself away. From where you are, you can tell that there's no way that jump is enough for him to make it back. But it is as he's flying midway, you just see a moment, it's almost like everything slows down. And he has a moment where and his hands expand in the direction of the ship as his newly discovered power of push shoves the ship away from the grasp of the lost brother while simultaneously propelling him further. And the last image that you see is Oho's body flying, turning, his ichor blade manifesting in his hand as he grabs it, raises it above him, and you just see him disappear into the black smoke, where now no blades are seen, ships are coming, blaster shots are now being shot from below, both in various directions, but also at the Chimera. And the ships are approaching. It's time to go.
I would say, just as you are propelling yourself from the front windshield, you watch Raw's face go from a look of understanding what's going on to a look of pure rage, as instead of like he hears your voice as you say those words to him, but it's almost like he just forgets to use technology and doesn't respond, and you see his face as he screams the word no. You'll see it through. You won't be able to hear it, but you'll see it through as you leap off. And as you are falling, Rawl is sprinting to the door that they had just came through, and he opens it. As the ship is taking off, he looks out and he just screams your name, your true name. As the ship continues to go higher and higher, and he just looks through the smoke.
Raul, you call out that name, and in the midst of the chaos, it's almost as if for a moment you feel as if there's enough quiet. You don't know if it's actually happening, the fact, or it's just that time is just going differently for you. There's a moment where seems like things get quiet for you, and it's almost as if you're expecting that maybe you will hear something back. And instead, the next thing you know is you just see a little spark that then becomes bigger, and it's just a blaster shot that flies and just goes right next to your face and just hits inside the whole ship. And then there's another, and another, and another. These people can't see where you are, but you're a big ship, and they're just trying to hit you. Chav?
Chev closes the door from the bridge. He can't do what he needs to do if you have that door open.
Yep. As I'm assuming it's an override control, and as the door is closing, Rawl is just pounding furiously on the door, tears kind of just rolling down his face. And as you are prepping your systems to go ahead, go through the stratosphere, you just hear the pounding go less and less as he slumps to the ground in front of the door.
Chav, one of the things that you probably would have noticed being at the cockpit, that when Oho's body turned and you saw the back of his body as he was moving, you were probably able to spot that the bag where the real gem was on him. Rawl, somewhere down the road, after the rage passes, you will remember his words that you have said to each other numerous times before. Meet me where the sands dance. Every time that you separate, every time that you know that you will see each other, but you cannot be together just yet, you let each other know where to meet, where the sands dance. Jeff, the banging against the door comes to a stop. The darkness of the smoke grows. The blaster shots continuing to increase. And now you can sense the Chimera as it is letting you know that you are being locked and targeted. And Uno brings you that reminder as it takes the co-pilot seat.
Muted.
I know I am. I'm trying.
Said I'm not ready yet. Chav is going to. He is going to use his piloting brilliant evasion maneuver to make him untargetable for 3 rounds. And in that time, he's going to fire up the hyperdrive after getting as high as he can in the atmosphere and leave Bespin.
Uno's going to go ahead and calculate the coordinates for hyperspace, which is a navigation skill check.
I give him
Average.
a boost die, and actually, wait. Sorry to cut the tension here. Astrogation check. Okay.
Astrogation. There we go. That's why I'm not seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
Average. You give him a boost.
I give him a boost, and if you want to factor in my 2 ranks of Galaxy Mapper, I remove 2 setback die, if he had any.
We'll form that into a boost into his ability to make at least one proficiency roll into it.
And I also take a quarter of the normal amount of time now.
He rolls 2 successes, 2 advantages. The Core Atlas, or the Northwind Chimera, just above the atmosphere of Bespin, booms into hyperspace. All that remains behind is Oho and Eliza with the lost brother.
as the ship is taking off, Dove would probably be the only one to see this, but Rawl is kind of just crouched um, in front of the door still, and as she watches, he kind of just goes into like this hyperventilative state, and then you'll see he kind of just calms, and then go completely still as he is focusing his inner mind on Oho's being and is trying to just lock in on that feeling. Basically, just trying to, above the table, be like a beacon almost, where he's able to tell if he's alive or not.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and have you roll a perception check. It's going to be 3 setback die because there is the presence of a dark force user in the immediate vicinity of Oho.
Sup?
So it's going to be a hard difficulty with 3 setback to maintain focus on your connection to your brother through the force, which is not impossible. Apparently,
I mean, I have a triumph.
that can count as a success. Yes.
Can I spend a light point to utilize one of my sensibilities?
I have
That's
a
up
better
to-
question. Can I use my triumph to keep the connection?
To keep the connection?
Well, he has a triumph. I have one as well. Can I
Okay.
use it as a way for this to succeed? Or
This
that
is your
bond to
game.
remain?
This is your story at this point in time, Victor. You tell me.
Victor, I'm going to apply my triumph to do a challenge on that.
Okay. Now, so
Ooh.
back to my original question.
And
Can I
I'm
spend
going
a
to
light-
wish everybody good luck.
I'm gonna spend a light point. God damn.
So you have a triumph, Oz to account for in the form of the triumph. Lost Brothers triumph cancels out Oho's triumph, so it's up to you. You have one triumph or one success on the board right now with that triumph. You have to roll another success to beat the difficulty.
Okay. So let me just talk some brass tacks
Oh.
real quick. I'm just trying to sense if he's alive. I'm not trying
Right.
to sense anything else.
Right.
Okay.
You just have to beat the difficulty to do so.
Right. However, I do have the sensibility. If I spend a light point, the Force user can sense the Force interacting with the world around you. The user may spend a Force token to sense all living things in a short range, including sentient and non-sentient beings. Can I argue that either I get a boost die or remove a setback because of this power?
Yeah, I'll say you can remove a setback since the only one really generated a threat. So yeah,
Okay.
I just need a perception check from everybody.
Jesus Christ.
Come on, bud. I'll give you a boost die because this is your brother you're trying to maintain a connection with. So
Here we go.
you just need once. You do.
Okay.
You're able to, despite the fact that there is a very strong, prominent presence of darkness surrounding the immediate vicinity of your brother, there is a very tangible but faint connection that you are able to maintain before you go out of range. This is going to be very, very minimal. The connection that you have established is going to be only a few fragments of a second. Victor, take the rest of the scene away before at this point in time.
Raul, you try to sense your brother, and in a fragment of a second, it feels as though you are watching that dark smoke again. And you can feel yourself flying into it the way that your brother was flying into it. And you can sense as if you're seeing from his POV. And eventually, as you see from his POV, a little bit of red color is in front of you, in front of you, in front of you. And then this dark silhouette with the red saber seems to turn your way and swing. And that's the moment that the connection is over. But you know that is not the end. You know that he's alive. You can feel his adrenaline as your own. Meanwhile, on the ground, moments before, Eliza fighting the lost brother, her lightsaber flickers, weakening. The lost brother triumphantly feeling ready to take yet another victim. And it is in that moment where it feels as though it's ready that the cyan glow of an ichor blade starts to come through the smoke, and the lost brother has just but a brief moment to get out of the way as the ichor blade of Oho sings and swings really close to its head. Oho landing, rolling, and immediately turning blade up right next to Eliza, staring at this figure defiantly.
I will say in this moment very quickly, he's activated the spinning section, so it's actually now rapidly spinning because there's now two of you. So he's now about to start moving forward with that in this moment.
You were supposed to leave with that ship, boy.
Made you a deal.
Well, there's no point in squabbling about it now. Stick close to me. Trust in the Force. Let it guide you.
I think Oho hears this, stares at the lost brother, the spinning blade. He doesn't really care much for the trust the Force situation thing, but in this particular instance, with the odds as they are, he just gives a slight nod to Eliza. And he attempts to just tap into her energy as if he wants to mimic her energy in this moment.
She begins to laterally strut, trying to interpose herself between you and the lost brother before her, who begins to display these erratic behaviors before the two of you, smacking his helmet, shaking his head violently as he screams in anguish. Prepared, I'll run. This seems to be plagued by visions. We can use this to cover our escape.
No, Lord Vader, please. We can still be of use. I can still be of use. My lord! I just back up into a wall with just sort of like flicking the blade around everywhere.
The moment that happens, it's instinctively it's just reflex, and somehow Oho knows that Eliza is on the same page. And the moment that the lost brother moves its blade to erratically strike to the side, it's just a sprint, and he just moves with his blade always at the ready, so that if at any point on their motion the lost brother's blade moves in their direction or in the direction of Eliza, he's ready there to just try to like parry it without stopping. He just wants to keep moving. At this point, as Eliza and Oho start to make their way further away from the lost brother that's trying to recover its senses, enforcers finally approach, and they spot this glowing red blade and the Sith, both men from Tabrith and Shen, weapons drawn, and they're just looking at this Sith. Just, where's the rest of your crew? Where are they? Lower your sword. Surrender. Why are you not answering? Answer! Answer!
I take a deep breath in. And I'm going to use my force ability to terrify all the guards around me. And that scream just echoes, even to the point in that fraction of a second it hit. Can I attempt to use a dark side point for it to hit Ryle, like almost like it's hitting him the square of his chest in that last fraction of a moment?
Oh, you can. You just can.
Yeah. Can I just dump all my dark side points in the final counter to just do that in that final moment?
It's gonna accumulate in the form of four strain to do so.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it.
You see,
Oh no, that's wounds.
The Inquisitor. From your POV, you see as all of these officers. Some of them don't know why. Their guns drop from their hands. Some of them, their knees buckle. Some just have to cover their ears. And they are just...
I go for... I go for the first one I see. Like, the first one that drops the saber is getting just eviscerated, like... just bisecting him in half.
As you manage to freeze these officers, and the smoke continues to rise, the camera begins to move away as it sees your figure moving to the first individual, raising that saber. And as you strike, the smoke once more covers the scene, only to see the glow of the blade and the silhouette of the first one dropping, and then the blade moving to another and another and another as the smoke makes the scene disappear, and then somewhere else reappearing, whilst Oho and Eliza are running through the darkness, through the shadows, not looking back, looking to get to safety, just as the rest of Court Atlas continues to look for safety as well. They get to live another day, but they get to learn that there are new threats in this game of shadows they play, and they're going to need to be ready. And that's where we're going to end the session today.
Oh my god.
And see.
Oh my god.
Take
Oh,
it away, Tarzan.
thank you to all our viewers tonight. Please give Victor a resounding and warm farewell, temporarily, albeit farewell. This is a beautiful sending off for his character, for Oho. There's so much to be had. Jay, thank you for joining us as the lost brother in our campaign. so much to explore there. If you guys want to learn more about the campaign of Core Atlas, you can check out all of our past broadcasts on YouTube. That being said, this is the end of today's session. Come check us out next week as we continue the adventure. For all of those involved, for all of Core Atlas, everyone gets a whopping 45 XP for the closure of the Jewel of Yavin. Thank you, 2B Dicers. Have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.
May the fourth be with you.